And we have returned with the remaining fortunes of old whispered oracle of Hakurei Shrine. Streamer, the screen is so white, it hurts. Yes, we're on Kyoko. There's a dark mode that I forgot about. I wouldn't worry about that. Here we are. We got more of these. So last time, 2 weeks ago, we finished half of them. Now we're on 10 Desires, the back half, featuring all characters up to 19, plus the written work exclusive characters will be at the end. Okay, so are we ready? Get ready. Number 65. Slight Fortune. Yamabiko Monk at the Gate. Kyoko Kasodani. Capable of reflecting sound. Maka Hanya Haramitako. Doesn't this sound like I'm hungry? Maka Hanya Haramitako is from the Japanese reading of the Heart Sutra, which is frequently chanted by monks in Mahayana Buddhism. The middle of this excerpt sounds similar to Haraheta, which means I'm hungry. Ah. I was thinking Skarita, or whatever, how you pronounce that. A Skarita, like you're tired. I guess Eta refers to yourself in this situation. Eta is like referring to you, and then you're what you are. So Hareta would be hungry. Skareta would be you're tired. I think. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. Just getting that ready. Alright. Fortune. There won't be any changes that stand out, but if you devote yourself to training, you'll definitely be rewarded. Religion. Buddhism is auspicious. Studies. The results of your daily efforts will show. Business. Your results will echo your actions. Haha. For good or for ill. Travel. Mountains are auspicious. You won't have any accidents. People. You greet people properly, your social network will increase, but parroting people will make you lose friends. Home. You should get some soundproofing. Money. Lost offerings. Love. An associate from sutra chanting is good. Chants. The popular chants to call nowadays are time for you to get what's coming to ya. Literally, time to pay the Nengu, a yearly tribute of rice paid to one feudal's overlord in Edo period Japan. Okay. Her Danmaku is reflected even in places where there are no walls to bounce off of. Given her ability, I wonder if Danmaku are made of sound. But if that was the case, she'd be able to reflect everyone's Danmaku in front of her, and it would be impossible to land an attack, so I guess that means only her Danmaku are made of sound waves. Kyoko kind of unique in a couple ways like that. So here's Kyoko. I don't remember her dress being that long. It looks more like a uniform than like clothing, but it's very long, and not to draw too much attention to it, but that shit goes straight down. That shit goes straight down. She might as well be a coat hanger with how she's displaying that outfit. Puppy. I don't think it looks too different from her normal outfit, but it's definitely longer. It's definitely longer. Look at those big old stupid socks. Those huge leg warmer socks. How great. How quaint. How lovely. Yoshika. Prospective fortune Jiangxi who loves to make friends. Yoshika Miyako. Capable of eating anything. There's no point thinking too much about it. All humans become corpses in the end. Fortune. Since you're already dead, it can't get worse than that. Health. What's that? Is it edible? Business. Friends will gather. It's unclear whether they can work. Studies. It's fine even if you forget them. Exercise. You'll be stiff and injure yourself. Hey, she exercises. Sega makes sure that she exercises so she has flexibility in her joints. She's not as rigid as her theme would suggest. Travel, you'll have trouble getting around. People, you'll get new friends one after the other. That's good. Food, if you don't regulate your diet, it'll be lost to your endless appetite. Love, no way. Marriage, impossible. Disputes, they're now at peace. Rest in peace forever. An animated corpse. She's a straightforward monster, although she seems to have a will of her own. She's mostly abandoned her intelligence, moving only by reflex, command, and appetite. I don't think that's her choice, son. Staring at smartphones around the clock, reacting only to the words on the screen while time just passes you by. Modern people are just like Jiangxi. See, I mentioned this last time I did this, but there's a number of times where Zun's comments are extremely pessimistic and, like, depressing. Give him, like, 15 years and he's gonna be one really annoying boomer. He's gonna be really fucking annoying about this, isn't he? Yep. Oh, yeah, the way people stare at their smartphones and only react to words on screen. People are just like mindless zombies. Alright, bro. Can we focus on talking about the characters in the world that you made instead of talking about how shitty the real world is? Like, I don't need you to tell me that. I really don't. Stick to your fucking fantasy. That's where the fun is. Look at this. Creature. What's that say on her head? I don't know. She is really squished, though. She is really squished. She lost her neck. She's a shark. Sharks don't have necks. She just looks very small. It's because her hands are pressed forward because zombie pose. But she looks very nubby. So, not much you can do about that. Sega. Prospective misfortune. Uncapturable evil hermit. Sega Kaku. Capable of passing through walls. If there were no walls, everything would be set free. That's true globalism. Fortune. Favorable things will happen for now, but you'll end up suffering later. Housing. Beware of thieves. Business. You'll break through barriers to have great business success. As a result, others will hold grudges against you. Studies. You'll tend to be unable to focus and run off when you should be studying. Health. You won't die. Travel. Everywhere except hell is auspicious. Love. You'll be escaping of your own volition. Marriage. An absurd idea, which is funny because she actually was married. Money, you'll easily get your hands on it, however you mustn't get involved in shady dealings. People, be careful of people that offer you good deals. It seems like a simple and really useful ability, but like a true wicked hermit, she only ever thinks to use it for crime. She's been operating behind the scenes for some time, but never wanted any attention. Since wicked hermits must flee from Oni of Hell and from Shinigami, they cannot stand out. If she ever gives up escape, she'll die. That's kind of an interesting thing to think about. Sega pretty much can never be in the limelight, because as soon as she exposes herself, she gives away her position, and she's constantly being hunted. So, what a life she lives. How exciting. And here's what she looks like. Oh, they got the talisman on her leg. Not much to say, really. That's, you know, that's her. That's Sega, all right. Good expression for her. Chose a very good expression for her. But there's really not much to say. That's Sega, alright. Tojiko. Prospective fortune. Ghost from ancient Asuka. The imperial capital of Japan for most of the Asuka period, including during Prince Shotoku's regency, when Tojiko, Miko, and Futo were originally alive. Soga no Tojiko. Capable of causing lightning. It's a very comfortable thing, life without needing a physical body. Fortune. Your fortune is at its lowest, but it can greatly improve depending on your attitude. I like that, because that's kind of, that line kind of is the idea that she woke up and she was a ghost. And it's like, holy fuck, you're a ghost. But she was like, actually, this is kind of cool. So, yeah. Fucking Futo and her shenanigans. Futo's a funny little goober, but then you read the things that she does, and you're like, I don't know if funny little hee-hee-ha-ha gremlin really... I don't know if you can say that, you know? I don't know if that really works here for this little fucker. Health. Your body and spirit will be light. If you oversleep, your fortunes will fall. Okay. Business. If you want to succeed, don't dwell on the past. Studies. Japanese history is inauspicious. Other than that, studying will prove useful. Okay. Home. Be careful of lightning strikes and fire. Planting mulberry trees in the front yard would be auspicious. A reference to the phrase Kurabawa Kurabara, meaning mulberry field, which is said to ward off bad luck, especially lightning strikes. Okay. Travel. You won't get tired even if you travel far. Love. It'll end in failure due to a difference in values. Career advancement. If the boss takes a liking to you, chances are high. Lost items. You'll lose your body, but your spirit will become lighter. That's not even, like, remotely subtle. She was meant to be resurrected as a Shikai-sen, but she's a ghost who lost her body after an ally interfered. A heavy backstory for a mid-boss who appears out of nowhere. But Tojiko doesn't bear a grudge and instead seems to enjoy life as a spirit, never having to fear illness or death. It's a pretty ideal retirement plan. So he's basically doubling, not doubling down, but he's repeating what we kind of already know about Tojiko in the situation involving her, you know. Chat, why did the artist, like, put lines in her clothes for her abdominals? It's kind of weird. I don't know, there's lines in her clothes that follow her abdominal muscles, which is just kind of, why? She must be really fucking lean under her outfit. That's the only explanation. It's the only explanation I can think of. If her fucking, if her abdominals are like poking through her clothes like that, she has to have a fucking six-pack going on under there. She's ripped. And she's got no legs. But man, that upper body. She works her core. It's impressive, chat. You know the, you know when people, like, they hang upside down and they do like sit-ups upside down? Tojiko can do that because she can just turn herself upside down. Because she can just fly. She can do these mad-ass difficult crunches, and there you go. That's how she built those abs. Turns out she's extremely jacked. Never skip core day. Never. Up to you is the fortune. Shikai-san who sees the flow of dragon veins. Mononobe no Futo. Capable of manipulating feng shui. One's fortune is naturally all a matter of chance. At least it is for those who can't see the dragon veins. Fortune, whether it's good or bad, depends on your actions. Read the state of the world. Business, reevaluate what you keep at your workplace. If you have too much stuff, it'll bring bad luck. Studies, ancient history is auspicious. Architecture isn't too bad either. Health, always tend to it. Moving, there's an opportunity to move to a house that brings good fortune. Money, it'll increase if you work in fields or do pottery. The object that Futo used to become a Shikai-sen was a ceramic plate. Career advancement. If you can take down your rival, your chances are good. Travel. It's good if you travel often. Love. It's the one thing that feng shui can't help with. Maybe because of her long sleep or from slight brain damage, she's pretty airheaded. What? Brain damage? Feng shui gives the impression of a good luck charm, and certainly the case against Sokyo, as not many people believe in it. Because she's an airhead, it feels odd that she uses the terrain command to unleash her overpowered attacks. Hold on, what's this? The spelling of often, which is that, as opposed to that, gives an older quality, okay? What's number 3? A special attack of feng shui users in Final Fantasy games. The Japanese word contains the kanji meaning earth, in contrast the Japanese word for airhead, which contains the kanji for sky. Oh, okay, because you're calling them an airhead, so the kanji for sky is in there. But she uses the terrain, which is the kanji for earth, but she's... Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. So yes, Futo may or may not be brain damaged. Well, I didn't need Zun to tell me that. I didn't need Zun to tell me that, but she's our little brain damaged lass. Alright? She's our little brain damaged lass. She's great. We love her. And her goofiness. This is really good art of her, by the way. I actually really like this art of her. I think it's very nice. Very nice to look at. Wow. Maybe a weird thing to say, but... Oh, I hate that smug-ass pose. Greatest fortune, almighty charismatic Taoist, Toyosato Mimi no Miko, capable of listening to 10 people talk at the same time. When none oppose, none disobey, and all submit. That is the definition of harmony. Fortune, your luck is so strong that for the time being, you have nothing to fear. Work. You'll be very successful. Being a politician or a Taoist would be even more auspicious. Studies. All subjects will go well. Civics is even more auspicious. Health. If you don't take good care of your ears, your luck will decline. People. Many will come seeking your advice. What a pain. Money. People will come to you offering money and valuables, but you shouldn't accept them. Wishes. They are already fulfilled. Travel. You don't have the free time. Love. You'll have 10 partners at the same time. Disputes. None. That's harmony. She's the most superhuman-like superhuman against Sokyo. Even when discussing the uncertain future, if she makes a bold and confident assertion, you can't help but take it as the truth. She's skilled at capturing people's hearts, which makes her a very politician-like politician. To the yokai who have been using fear to capture hearts up until now, her method of straightforwardly seeking support may make her the greatest possible threat. Luckily for that, Miko's only interested in her own pursuits. She just seeks to better herself. But she is definitely very capable. Also, that is one hell of a rack that she's got there. That's not accurate. That's not accurate at all. How dare you? How dare you? You can't just do that, all right? You can't just do that. That's illegal, you know. Stupid pose. Oh, another one with an illegal rack. Great fortune. Shape-shifting Baka Denuki. Mamizo Futatsuiwa. Capable of disguising things in herself. There's no limits to what a person can become. If you blow puffed tobacco smoke on them, that is. Fortune. By adapting to the moment, bright and happy days will await you. Work. Service businesses will flourish. Being a store manager, company president, or any managerial position would be even more auspicious. Studies. Chemistry is very auspicious. You'll do well in Japanese history. Health. Be careful about smoking. Travel. Anywhere but sacred places is beneficial to you. Money. The more you spend, the more you earn. Love. You'll deceive each other. Career advancement. You know how to get ahead. Home. Keep Shigaraki Ware around. A type of pottery popular in the Heian period, often depicting tanuki. Lost items. Even if you lose something, someone else will find it. Hobbies. Masquerades are auspicious. Although she acts like a big shot, she's quite a human, like leader of the tanuki. She'll give advice that sometimes benefits humans and sometimes benefits yokai, but in the end her belief is that you should act in the way that benefits yourself. What sets her apart from other Baka Tanuki is that she can only transform herself, but also other people and objects. She can do that? I remember the chapter where she blew smoke in that yokai's face to reveal their true form. But that wasn't transforming them, that was, well, I guess it was, if you wanna... Wait, I'm a fucking idiot. That's her fucking special move in the fighting games. That's her special move in the fighting games. I completely forgot about that. I was like, what do you mean she can transform others? Duh! Oh my god. I feel like a fucking idiot for that one. Alright, whatever. Doesn't Mamizo have ears? Or am I insane? Chat, doesn't Mamizo normally have ears? Or am I memory holding myself? She does have ears. No wonder it looks so weird. I was like, who is this character? This isn't Mamizo. This is like post-menopause Sumireko. That's what this is. Transform. No, that's a bad opinion because her fucking tail is right there. Her tail is right there. Oh my lord. Unbelievable. I'm looking at her foot and it's bothering me. It's like... Ugh. Whatever. Kokoro. Holy Jesus, that is a detailed Kokoro. Prospective fortune. The Menreiki who uses 66 different emotions, Hata no Kokoro, capable of manipulating emotions. I wonder why. Lately, it feels like the number of people who don't express their emotions has increased. Fortune. You can control your emotions, stay calm, and your luck will improve. Work. You can perform as you like. Rakugo performance or actor would be auspicious. Rakugo is a Japanese storytelling performance art. Studies. You will improve at the humanities in general. Health, you will often not notice your physical ailments. Travel, you will have fun in places with lots of people. You should actively go to festivals. Love, you can't control feelings of love. Lost item, you'll lose one very important thing. People who will try to deceive you will appear, so watch out. Hobbies, makeup, no, kabuki, masquerades are auspicious. She can control emotions, but it doesn't really come off like that in the games. It just looks like she steals people's emotions. She's actually able to freely change her own emotions. Unfortunately, since she's expressionless, it doesn't really come off like that either. She has 66 emotions. I'm sure she'll probably some weird ones in there. Yeah, because she's a Tsukumogami of the 66 masks, so that's why whenever she emotes, she has a different mask over her face. But her face itself, she's incapable of expressing that emotion. And it's cool because she's kind of opposite to Koishi, who... Koishi is very good at expressing herself, like body language and face language, but she doesn't have any emotions. Where Kokoro is the opposite, where she can express her emotions. She has plenty of emotions, but she can't express them on herself. She has to have the mask kind of do it for her. But honestly, one of my favorite things about Kokoro is that no matter what emotion she's feeling, she just has a deadpan expression on her face. I think that's a very, very fun thing with the character. She just has the 1,000-yard stare at all times. I don't really know what the fox mask is meant to represent, but she usually uses it not when she's angry, but when she's like being scary. But it's also like her main mask, I suppose. Like when people draw Kokoro, usually that's the main mask that's around her head. So I guess it's just her natural. That's just her natural mood. It might, yeah, it's probably serious, cause like again, she has the Oni mask for when she's angry, but the fox mask goes on when she's getting ready to fight. But like I said, the fox mask is probably her most well-known mask, and it's the one that she usually wears the most often. So I'd assume that's just her normal mood, right? Her average mood, which is just whatever that is. And she has the holes in her dress. We all know about the test. Yeah, she has a couple masks that we know about. So she's got the monkey mask that we know about. That's like, kind of like joy. The Oni mask, which is for anger. She's got the Hyotoko mask, which I think is like, I think that's kind of like confusion or like worry, or I don't really know. I could never find a real concrete info on all the different masks she's based on, but she only uses a handful of them. But as Zun said, she's based on all those masks, so she has plenty of different emotions. So if I knew what they looked like, you could probably associate certain ones with emotions, but the main ones that you need to know are kind of accounted for. Monkey was confusion. Was it? No. Oh, she has the laughing mask. She has the laughing old man mask, which that could be joy. That one's probably joy. But she does have that monkey mask that she uses. And she cycles between the masks for different modes. She's got a joy, anger, and sadness mode. She's got the crying old woman. And she's, it's... I like, my favorite Kokoro trope is that she's very expressive, despite her face looking like that. Like, Genso Wanderer, Kyoko is extremely expressive in her voice inflection and her poses, but then her face is always the same. And also in M1 as well. Kokoro in M1 is hilarious because again, she's very animated, but at the same time she's still just Kokoro. So the discrepancy in all of it makes her more endearing. So she is capable of being one of the funniest characters in the series. And a big part of that is just because when she's being over the top and humorous, her design doesn't really change to make her annoying. So that contrast I think is very charming, and it makes her more funny as a result. Because over the top animations and whatnot can be a little annoying, but in Kokoro's case, she's over the top in every other way except her face, and her face kind of brings you down to earth, and it's just kind of humorous, the discrepancy between it and everything else to her. She's pretty cool. Wagasaki Hime. Fish. Half fortune. Extremely unusual mermaid from fresh waters, Wagasagi Hime. Capable of growing stronger underwater. Half human, half fish. When it comes to them, I recommend tempura. Fortune, half good luck and half bad luck. If there were good times, there would also be bad times. Such is life. Health, excellent, perfectly healthy. Business, unlucky. Trade is a matter of chance. Studies, lucky, you'll be able to focus. Moving, troubled, flooding is foreseen. Travel, lucky, lakes are fine. Disputes, unlucky, you'll lose. Love, lucky, it will go well because you are naive. Attire, anything outside of Japanese clothes is unlucky. Hobbies, fishing is auspicious, however, catch and release. Freshwater mermaid has a somehow romantic sound to it. I really like it. However, unusually for Toho, she's a character with fairly strong limitations on where she can go, so it is difficult to include her in other works. But if a fight were to take place underwater, she would surely be in the strongest tier. Yeah, so I mentioned it in the last video I made, but Wagasagi Hime, it seems pretty conclusive that she can't leave the lake, and all of her fights take place on the lake. But the weird part is that she's part of the Grimoire of Usami, but the Grimoire of Usami is a fireworks Danmaku display, which takes place at the Hakurei Shrine, which is, as we know, on top of a hill. So there's no way for Wagasaki to actually perform from the lake to an audience, so she'd have to be flying, right? So I don't know about that one. That one's kind of weird. All right, here's the art. Oh my. Oh man, she has a bunch of those like little drills. Those little drills are obnoxious. Hella frills, and then of course the lower body, which is just the fishtail. Yep. The lower body, which is just the fishtail. Now, you know what really throws me off, chat? Is when you look at this looks fine, right? But look at the face ratio to like the back of the head. It's really weird, in my opinion, to construct heads sometimes, because when you construct a naked head, it's like it always feels like it's wrong, and it's because the hair always goes over the head and sits on top of it and pushes the head out. But when I look at this image and I look at her entirety of her head, her face is like not even 25% of the whole head here, and you can see so much of just the head in general, like so much of the back of it, so much of the top of it, so much of the forehead of it, and then the face is just kind of pushed down in the corner. But I feel like if you tried to draw this without the hair and you did that, you would think you designed a fucking monster. And you're like, this is so wrong, and then you cry and then you delete it. So like constructing anime heads is really weird, because it's one of those things that until it's kind of finished, it always kind of feels wrong. That's how I think anyway. I feel like it always feels wrong until it's finished. The hair can get real explosive. Some people's styles make the hair super explosive. The hair should never stick directly onto the scalp unless it's like shaved. So there's that. So you see how like it's like on top of it. You gotta assume it's on top of it, even though it's coming from the scalp. You know, it's if you stick it to the scalp, then your hair is very strange. It's basically flat, and you only do that with shave portions of the head. Not very often you do that with girls. It's mostly a guy thing, because slick back hair and sideburns and crew cuts and stuff like that. I'm no expert on the topic, but women have flowy, blowy hair. Great fortune. Light-headed Rokurokubi Shekibanki. Capable of sending her heads flying. Whether in quarrels or in Danmaku battles, a large head count is the strength you have chosen. Fortune. Broaden your field of view to see what's in front of you. You'll evade danger. Business. Prospective is good. Do not let your appearance show, and you'll work in the service business without flaw. Studies. Wrap your head around it. Rainbow, that's not funny. Travel. Just thinking about having been there will satisfy you. Love. You should not be stalking. Health. Your carelessness will bring much pain. Illness. Your stiff neck will get better. Lost items. Many will be found. People. You will meet people that do not judge by appearances. Those who do will leave. Rokurokubi are famous for their extending necks, but she's more of a flying head brute rather than the classical form of this yokai. She's only a yokai whose head comes out flying. Doesn't mean that she's another yokai that can manipulate its heads. I wonder if her extra heads are the real deal. Or maybe that's actually kind of been a question regarding Sekibanki for a long time, is how exactly her heads work. They're pretty much just Danmaku, but people like to kind of give them, like, not really super sentience, but people like to kind of assume that they work with her, like they're sentient enough, more than just being Danmaku. It's up to you to interpret it. Anyway, I like this because the guy who made this art was like, I'm gonna do a sitting pose. Wait, she wears a skirt, and he gave her shorts, not bloomers, not the usual, the Toho bloomers, just white, unflattering white shorts, so he could do the sitting position and have it be in a Toho book, because we don't do anything dirty, except that one time. That was one time. That was Aya's dirty book. All right, it only happened once. Her haircut here feels kind of different. I think it's because the bangs are blowing. Obviously, you can tell the direction of the cape is also going the same direction as the hair. So there's supposed to be a breeze here that's moving. But it kind of makes her look like a different character because her hair is flung up like that. You can tell it's Sekibanki from other context clues, mind you. But the decision to blow her hair up like that does kind of make her look like a different character. Next is Kagero. Middle fortune. Calm werewolf big sister. Kagero Imaizumi. Capable of transforming into a wolf on the night of a full moon. To think about how the full moon affects the tides, the very earth is also a werewolf. The original text says loup garo, which means werewolf in French. Okay. Fortune. Only once will the opportunity of a big chance appear. If now is a good time, avoid any transformation. Make the best of your situation. Body. For a chance to improve your ability, train during the night. Travel. Stay away from the crowds. Business. Looks favorable, but it depends on the changes that happen. Studies. Influenced by the age of the moon. Love. If you are humble, things will look up. Money. Splurge on full moon nights. Lost items. On full moon nights, you'll lose something important. You'll also lose your memory. Refers to a common trait among werewolves where their memory of transformation is lost after the full moon night. Attire. It's auspicious to not show too much skin. So that's, okay, that sounds... Now, the funny part about that is... I'll bring it up in a second. Let's read the zone comment first. Werewolves are major monsters, but she's a Japanese wolf, which are now extinct. Apparently not. I think there's been some kind of proof or something that finding the species that she's based on is actually still alive in the wild. I don't know if that was debunked or anything like that, though. She says that she's hairy when transformed, but whether that's true is unknown. Nevertheless, her clothes are based on the motif of the Hanafuda card, commonly known as the Buddhist priest. In the standard Hanafuda deck, the full moon card is also known as the Buddhist priest. It depicts a white moon against a red sky and over a dark gray field. Oh, I didn't know that. No, could it be that she admires hairless monks? So her outfit is kind of based on a Hanafuda card. Cool. Anyway, what I was saying. So, we can see, and it's actually being shown here, you see her wrist? You see under her wrist? You can see it in Zun's art too, but it kind of looks like she has hairy arms. It kind of looks like she has hairy arms in her Zun art. And here, it's actually kind of replicating that. In the Zun art as well, when she's defeated, she gets very hairy, because she's known to shed in full moon. But not showing clothes. The reason why she wears such a covering outfit is because of that reason. She doesn't want to show all the hair that grows on her. The funny thing about that is that, for whatever reason, people have decided that her outfit no longer covers her clavicle area. I find that kind of funny. Like, her clothes are designed in a way that, like, don't show skin. And people are like, okay, so her dress drapes under her shoulders and you can see her entire collarbone area. It's like, okay. That's not covering, but sure, whatever. Whatever. Do what you want. And it's just funny because specifically this character, we know why this character dresses so extensively. I'm pretty sure Marissa makes a comment about it in DDC as well, about the fact that she's so, like, heavily clothed. And again, her damage dart doesn't show any damage to her clothes either. So like she's very, it's kind of making a point here that she doesn't want anything exposed. She wants to cover herself. She's wearing heavy clothing specifically to hide everything below her. But then the fans were like, no, her dress doesn't cover her shoulders or collarbone or anything like that. And it's like, how did this happen? How did this happen for this character? Canon covers herself. Fanon, actually, she slips it down a bit. Meanwhile, other characters kind of gradually got shorter skirts and shit like that. But Kagero just became synonymous with this style of dress, even though it's something she actively avoids doing. And so it's very interesting. Anyway, it's a very nice art. It's very pretty art. Look at her nails. She's got long nails. Alright, Ben. Here's Benjamin. Prospective fortune. Biwa Tsukumogami that strums souls. Ben Tsukumo. Capable of performing and producing sounds by herself. Above the end of the raging magical storm echoes the impermanence of all things. Echoes of the impermanence of all things is a quote from the tale of Hiki, a story that famously uses a biwa for accompaniment. Fortune. Put an end to the life of being used as a tool. It is now time to revolt. Business. Music related are auspicious. However, if you don't treat instruments carefully, they will fight back. Studies. Music and the classics are auspicious. Health. Even if you are not well, you will gain strength gradually. Travel. You will get lost. If you follow a night procession, you will encounter something scary. A reference to the night parade picture scroll. Love. Even if you get lost along the way, you will find someone good. Money. No way to increase it. People. At first, people will tend to avoid you. If you enjoy yourself, people will gather towards you. As a tool, she's quite old, but she's only recently gained sentience as a Tsukumogami. Biwa and Koto Tsukumogami often appear as a pair in picture scrolls of night parades. From around this time, probably the Muromachi period, there were probably a lot of factors that would lead to Biwa and Koto becoming Tsukumogami. For example, the number of people able to play them decreased, and they end up covered in dust in a warehouse. Oh, well, that's kind of sad to think about. Hard instruments, old instruments, outdated instruments. I always thought it was cool that her biwa is, like, the face is there, but then the neck of it, I don't know the terminology, but the neck of it is a chain that's handcuffed to her arm. So it's just permanently stuck to her in a fascinating way. Not much to say, really. It's, you know, it's Ben. Well, what can I say? It's Ben. We know Ben. Everybody knows Ben. Yatsuhashi. Prospective fortune. Heart-melting Koto Tsukumogami. Yatsuhashi Tsukumo. Capable of performing and producing sounds by herself. What a crazy ability. Did you know I can do that too when you give me anything that produces sound? Watch this. Wow, I just produced sound all by myself. No, you didn't, streamer. You used the desk. Oh, my mistake. So what does Yatsuhashi use when she produces sound? Does she go, ah? Because that's me. I can produce sound too. I can do that too, you know. You ain't special. You were given the opportunity to live in this world, so being too serious would be a waste. Fortune. You'll gradually start to have more fun. You'll do well in life if you live carefree. Business. Music-related business are auspicious. Gagaku is particularly auspicious. Classical Japanese court music. Studies. Music and the classics are auspicious. While waiting in line, you will see something interesting. Health. Taking care of your nails is auspicious. Oh, that's because, it'll probably be visible on the art, but I'm pretty sure when you play the koto, you have, like, these little, things, they wear these little things over their fingertips, right? Because they strum the string with their nails, but they need, obviously, you need, like, the ability to do that. So they have, like, these little sharp fingers that you can kind of strum the key. I don't really know how to play a koto, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that before on Yatsuhashi's art. Love, there's not much interest. Ouch. Disputes will tend to happen. Some people believe the power of music helps avoid conflict, but they end up suffering. Money, no way to increase it. People, you will come across a piece of work that will resonate you by all sorts of things. Even though she became a Tsukumogami at the same time as her sister Ben, why she's the younger sister is a mystery. Maybe it's because she was dragged away by a biwa on the 100 Oni Night Parade. Whoops. A reference to the Night Parade picture skull, of course. Kotos are instruments whose players don't move during performances, but because she was released from the binding curse, she rejoices in her freedom as if venting her anger. Oh, you see, yeah, there, right there. Do you see it on her middle finger there? You see it on her middle finger? She has this little, she's got this little, like extension on her finger to play the string. Like that. She, like, wears it on her finger, but she only has it on her middle finger. I don't know how to play a koto. I don't really know the details, but you can see it on her backhand as well. You can actually see it on more of her fingers on her backhand. You can see it on her her index finger and what I assume is her ring finger and her pinky. But the hand that's closer to the camera, you can only see. You can kind of make out one on the index finger, but there's only really one clearly visible on the middle finger. So, yeah. Where's the koto, though? She is the koto. Ha ha ha. Yep, that's Yatsuhashi. Good for you, Yatsuhashi. You did it. Seija. You can tell, I'm sure you've noticed by now, but the darker the page, the more misfortune it is. So, we've seen a couple characters on, like, completely black fucking backgrounds, and that's because, you know, they're misfortune. So you can tell based just on the coloration. Also, the character from the back probably helps if you recognize it, but I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool with the misfortune characters because they have to make the images are all black and white, so they have to make the black and white pop on an excessively dark background, right? So that's why there's a much deeper dark used for these misfortune characters. Great misfortune, a Monojaku prideful of her loneliness. Seija Kijin, capable of turning anything upside down. Wow, cool, I can do that too. Watch this. Whoa, my phone is now upside down. You ain't special. The things people say are fun are boring. Is that sort of life really what you want? Well, what do you think is fun, Seija? Huh? You think robbing a bank is fun? Because other people think that too. That's why payday exists. Fucking idiot. Fortune, you'll smash your own luck. You will not gain cooperation from those around you. Business. If it ever seems like you'll succeed, you'll put a stop to it yourself. Money, you'll be happy to part ways with it. You won't save up. Studies, you'll get the answers wrong on purpose, and you'll be pleased about it too. Health, sturdy and without injury. Disputes, an everyday occurrence. Love, you will keep away the one you are interested in. What a shame. Travel, boring and unpopular tourist attractions are auspicious. People, both good people and bad people will run away from you. Tools, your only allies. Tools will not betray you. As a rebel, she's pretty strong, but since she'll resist everything and anything without thinking of the future, the only thing waiting for her at the end is a tragic ruin. She's fated to not have an ally who will believe her to the very end. But fortunately for her, there are lots of outcasts like her in Gensokyo, so she doesn't stand out too much in that regard. Damn, Zum really said that she was doomed to be a girl failure for life. There's no hope for this. You can't fix her, chat. She doesn't want to be fixed. Nobody can fix her. Because to her, she ain't broken. There's nothing to fix. You lose. Why is she always gonna stick her fucking mad long-ass tongue out like that, huh? Anyway, there's the common one. I was just looking at the hair. I mentioned in the last video I made, but the Impossible Spell card hair design is not used in, like, anything. Seija's most known hair design is the big red streak with the multiple white streaks. And that's pretty much true to form for any form of art you'll ever see of this character. I've never seen fan art of the opposite. Or I guess the ISC menu art. Shimmy Jimmy. That is, that's a face. Slight Fortune. Descendant of the noble inchling race. Shinmyomaru Sukuna. Capable of using the miracle mallet. I'm done with picking away little by little. It's time to turn it all around with a single shot. Fortune. You are caught up in a massive flow of fortune. Don't get swallowed up by it. Take charge and ride it. business. If your ambitions are too large, you won't be able to realize them. Work. Boating, brewing, sewing, and rebellion are all auspicious. Studies. Though your brain is small, you're actually quite clever. Hey, that's me! Health. In danger of illness for a bit. Love. They won't see you that way. Home. It will have defects. Chat, I'm not gonna lie. When my eyes went down towards home, I read defects as diabetes. I was like, what the fuck does that have to do with diabetes? But then I read it and it wasn't diabetes. Anyway, travel. A trip by boat is good. Money you'll want for nothing. Avoid. Stay away from carnivorous animals. You'll be eaten. Wishes. They'll definitely come true, but they'll come at a big cost. She's probably the smallest character in Gensokyo, but her attitude is among the biggest. Biggest? What the fuck is biggest? Even though the Inchling race has small bodies, her natural intelligence should allow them to thrive. She doesn't really use her head, though, and ends up making small-time moves. If she would reform her character, she has the potential to become a big shot one day. But she's an idiot. Noted. Her bowl is full of coinage. Dude, how can you live in this bowl? This is her transport bowl, and she just carries around all this shit. I like her sash. It's pretty cool. But she's got... Okay. I realize now what the problem is. Chat, look at her ears. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh my goodness. She's got the Denzel Crocker ears. The perspective on the head is all kinds of wrong. 'Cause your ears are only below your eyes if you're looking up. She's looking down. She's looking down, so her ears should be above her eyes. But they're below it. Which means everything is wrong here. Everything is wrong. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, there is so much. The more I look at it, the worse it gets. Ears are on her jaw. That's not even really the problem. The problem is more so the fact that, like, when you draw angled heads in anime, it can be kind of hard. And sometimes what it is it's a neutral head, but the face position and ear position give the illusion of it without having to do a bunch of additional details. The issue here is that the principle, the common principle is that when you look down, your ears are going to be above your face, and when you look up, your ears are going to be below your face. Here we see her looking down at the camera, but we see her ears are next to her mouth. That only happens when your head is looking up. So, yeah, don't look at the foot. That's a big foot. Holy shit. Wait a minute. Her head is tilted up, but also looking down. Yes, her face is looking down, but her head is tilted up. But her ears are tilted with her, she's looking down. But that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't work. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, look at her. Dude, look at her pinky toe. Look at her pinky toe. Oh no. Oh no, her pinky toe on the far foot. It's like coming out. Oh no, it's broken. It's broken. It's facing the wrong way, and it's not part of the. Oh, help her! Help her! Why does she only have 3 fingers? Uh-oh. Chat, unless her index finger is just completely invisible, she's missing her left index finger. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Wait, which leg is coming from where? Wait a minute, chat. What leg is coming from where? Okay, so hold on. The leg. Okay, so I'm on the foot that's closer to the camera. I'm following the leg. That should be the leg closest to the camera. But if I look at the leg that's farther from the camera and I follow that one, it like turns. What? Oh god. Okay. I think her feet are swapped. You're right. You're right, because your big toe always faces inward. Your big toe always faces inward. Her feet are backwards. Her feet are backwards. Because the crossed leg has to be the one coming from the further away from the camera. But, whoa, my god. Oh my god. No. Look at her legs. Her feet are wrong. They're on the wrong side. They're on the wrong side. Because the leg that's over the knee is supposed to be the leg that's coming from farther away from the camera. That means that's supposed to be her right foot. And then the foot that has the weird pinky toe, if you follow that leg, that's the one that's closest to the camera. That's the side you can see. That's the side you can see. I don't think she's crossing her legs. What? Huh? What? Huh? Then why is her foot just floating like that? You think the float can possibly... You think your leg can possibly look like that if that's the one closest to the camera? It kind of can. But it's not. How is she not crossing her legs? How is she not crossing her legs? How could you possibly interpret this as her not crossing her leg? Because as soon as you don't do that, it looks even worse. It gets even worse. It's a mess. Go ahead. Take this image and redraw over it. Go ahead. Go do it. Figure it out. Get somebody who actually knows anatomy to figure this out, please. I'm dying to know what's going on downstairs. I'm fucking dying to know what's going on with her legs. I need to know. Where's the right leg coming from? That's what I'm saying! That's what I'm saying! I don't understand the origin point of her legs. Because it feels like they're both coming from the same spot, but at the same time they can't be doing that. So it's like, are the feet backwards? Are the legs wrong? What's going on here? Alright. I can't look at that anymore. I can't look at that anymore. I cannot look at that anymore. Absolutely cannot look at that anymore. That is unbelievable. The longer I look at that, the worse it gets. Alright, prospective great fortune. Sakumogami bearing the primordial source of sound. Raiko Horikawa. Capable of making anything follow a rhythm. Time is inherently finite. All pulses synchronized to the beat of Planck time. Fortune. Your daily life will follow an orderly rhythm. Along with that, your fortune will steadily improve. Work. Work in an office is auspicious. Being a drummer is very auspicious. Studies. You will go well once you get into the swing of it. Music and physical education are auspicious. Home. Make sure you have soundproofing. Love. Your wavelength will match. Travel. Going to places where a festival is being held is very auspicious. Hobbies. Absolutely join a band. Money. Regrettable. People. You'll be surrounded by music lovers. Health. Your soundness of body will see improvement. You will often get stuck and you will constantly get injured. She looks like a modern drum set, but she's a Sakumogami of a traditional taiko drum. She discarded the taiko drum that was her true form and possessed this drum set. Since she sometimes holds her live concerts in Gensokyo, she's a yokai with a lot of human fans. Her true identity seems to be treated as part of the band's setting. Modern. Nice boots. You can't see her ankles, but she has drumsticks on her ankles for hitting the big drum. But she does have the set above her. She's dressed very nicely. She has very long legs. My goodness. My goodness. Those are long legs. Oh. Yeah, just general Raiko stuff. Completely underutilized character. That's just how she be. That's just how she be. Cassin. Misfortune. Oh, Reimu? Horn Hermit who loves animals. Kasen Ibaraki, capable of guiding animals. As I'm sure you already know, there's no such thing as a bad person who loves animals. Fortune. Your wish will come true, but at such a heavy cost that it's a hole you'll be unfortunate. Working in a hospitality business will not go well. A job that involves contact with animals is auspicious. Studies. Biology and Chinese literature are auspicious. Health. Be careful of arm injuries and of drinking to excess. Travel. Avoid shrines and temples. Home. A place deep in the mountains is auspicious. People. If you're too preachy, people won't want to be around you. Love. A partner who's a bit wild is auspicious. Animals. Keeping a bird of prey will bring your luck in competitions. A snake will bring luck with money. A cat will bring luck with people. And a moongi will bring luck in general. Her occupation is that of a hermit, but her true nature is an oni. Oni are something like a concentration of sinister energy, so there's no way she'd bring good fortune. Her ability to guide animals isn't the ability to raise them, train them, or control them, but means something more like guiding them towards their ideal selves. What those ideal selves are is something only she can understand. She did that before with She did that before in Sengetsu-sei, where she found an animal who had tasted human blood and was becoming a yokai, and she ended up it resulted in her she found it, and instead of it becoming a bloodthirsty yokai, it became like a guardian deity of sorts, a yokai that is protects humans. So that power has been put on display before, which is neat. This doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, my favorite part about this is whenever they like show her bandaged arm and they unwrap it a bit to show that there's not actually anything under it. Just for flair. Just for a little bit of flair, you know, it's for fun. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's Kasen. Unexpected, you know, it's Aya Azuma. I tell you, man, it's so funny to look at like Aya Azuma's art now and look at their art in like the first chapter of Wildhorn Hermit. It is such a glow up. It's such a glow up. The improvement over the course of the series is quite insane. Honestly, you don't even like fully realize it as you're reading it because it's gradual. But man, when you look at then and you look at the then and the now, like there's almost like a chibi cartoony style to early Wildhorn Hermit. And then there came a point where it was like, wait, these are actually like fully drawn proper characters now. It's crazy. It's very crazy. But like it gets better. It doesn't get better in the sense of it like it gets better in the sense that like it almost feels like the tone of the series changes a little bit just because the art becomes more detailed and it has more to show as opposed to it being kind of like goofy little characters. So the 9 years does it, motherfucker. Sumireko Usumi. Misfortune. True! Preach! Hifu's club's first president, Sumireko Usami, capable of manipulating psychic powers. School is nothing but an empty morality play. What's the point in teaching us just to act out our parts? Holy edgelord. Fortune, you choose to walk a different path from those around you. This decision will bring you many hardships. Studies. Your grades on tests will be excellent, but you'll get bad daily participation grades. Work. An occult-related job is auspicious. Writer, shaman, spirit medium, and stage magician are all very auspicious. Health. You'll be cursed with bad health. People. Your popularity will drop. But like-minded people will show great solidarity. I like how that's more of a comment about her human relationships and universe. But that is a very fucking accurate statement to her popularity as a fictional character. Love, hopeless. Well, I don't know about that, considering Renko. Travel, mystery spots are auspicious. You will be spirited away. Home, your family will support you. Hobbies, if it's something you could enjoy by yourself, it will go well. However, your compatibility with the internet is poor. Ouch. So true. In the outside world, she's treated as a weirdo, but against Sokyo, she's nothing more than a human with a common sense worldview. The girl who runs rampant against Sokyo is not actually the real her, but rather her doppelganger or her dream self. It's also the root cause of her abnormal powers. Which one the girl is in front of you is neither the girl herself nor the author has any idea. I like the idea that Like, even though it is a doppelganger, like, it's not her. Like, when she's in Gensokyo, like, her physical activity kind of transfers to the main body. So, like, she sleeps, she goes to Gensokyo, then she wakes up, and she doesn't actually feel rested because she was active during that. But she still sleeps. It's a wonder this character could even function as a human being because she's effectively living 2 lives at once. So she's always tired. That's the current state of modern man. Am I right, son? Am I right? Oh, the modern teenagers. Oh, they don't sleep. They go to bed at 3 a.m. and they wake up at 7 a.m. Yep, they sure do. And so do everybody else the last 40-year age. Yeah, so that's Sumireko's fighting game outfit, which... it's Sumireko, alright. Moving on. Seiren. Bunny. Holy bunny. Good fortune, the moon rabbit who landed. Seiren, capable of firing bullet from another dimension. Do you think it's Dongo the moon rabbit is pounding, or is it perhaps some red-colored berry? Well, that's an interesting little quote. Fortune, rabbits are a symbol of good luck. You'll be able to experience something rare and out of the ordinary. Travel, you should go on a trip as soon as possible. A place you've never been is auspicious. The moon is especially good. People don't just get to travel to the moon. Business, you won't have much luck. Hang in there. Studies, focus on travel instead. Disputes, they'll happen, but don't worry about it. Love, don't worry about it. Health, take care of yourself and it will improve. Events, you should proactively take part, especially mochi pounding. Sweets, I recommend raspberry dongo. She's a moon rabbit whose pestle is always dirty for some reason. Obviously, using your pestle to strike another living thing is, from a food hygiene standpoint, completely out of the question. That stain must surely be from raspberries or something. When she appeared in Unfinished Dream and All Living Ghosts, she seemed to have really taken a liking to Earth. It doesn't look like she has any intention of returning to Lunar Capital. Well, I mean, that was a given since she didn't do it in that game. Also, I think the first comment is slightly related to the fact that, early Seiren, I wasn't around during this period, so I only really know hearsay. But early Reisen, the mallet was a little more red, which led to some less than positive ideas to the character. And in the final version, it's a more purplish, mellowed out color that's not blood looking. And I think Zun's kind of doing a callback here to that a bit. Like, no, it's not blood. Come on. Come on, relax now. Relax. That's not blood. That's raspberry juice. See? That's raspberry juice. It's fine. Hey, there she is. Where's her eyebrow? Oh, I see it. I was like, her eyebrows are really thick, but that's the underside of her bangs. Her eyebrow is layered on, like, her bangs there. They are kind of thick, and you know what? Seiren is definitely the kind of character that can rock thick eyebrows. I think she could pull thick eyebrows off very nicely. They're hard to do. Like, thick eyebrows are a hard thing to get right on a character. Like, other aspects of the design have to complement the thick eyebrows. You really gotta lean into it. You can't just throw them on any character and call it a day. It's hard, man. Because if you do it wrong, then they just look bad. You do them right though, and it's just another piece of individuality to a character. Kringo. Good fortune. Moon rabbit who prefers Dongo over the moon. A play on the phrase preferring Dongo over flowers, meaning someone who cares more about substance and practical concerns over stylishness and luxury. Ringo, capable of getting stronger as she eats Dongo. Comparing Dongo to flowers is just wrong. You have to draw a comparison, compare Dongo to the moon. Refer to above. Okay. Fortune, you'll keep a happy and carefree attitude even in a harsh environment. Business. A career involving data processing will suit you well, otherwise a Dongo shop. Studies. Your studies will go well, however, do not try to study on an empty stomach. Home. You'll end up spending a lot of time away from home. Health. Take care not to overeat. Love. A partner who shares your interests is good. Travel. Boldly setting off on a trip is auspicious. Even a trip in your imagination is fine. Disputes will always surround you. Do what you can to avoid getting caught in them. Money. Don't hope for great riches. Just go with the flow and take what comes. As a moon rabbit who loves Dongo, her character is simple and easy to understand. It seems like she doesn't have a strong sense of belonging, so she doesn't really care whether she's a resident of the lunar capital or a resident of Earth. She just wants to do things she's interested in. Things she's interested in basically means eating Dongo, so in that sense, eating Dongo would be no different whether you were on the moon or the Earth. Alright. Here's Ringo. So what's my favorite part about Ringo? My favorite part about Ringo is that she deliberately wears a crop top to show that even though she eats a lot, she maintains a good figure. Something that a lot of people seem to forget. Or simply ignore when they draw this character. So, yeah. Ringo is lean. Ringo's pretty lean. I think her pants are stupid, personally. But I don't have a problem with her. I think her design, for the most part, is pretty fine. But Seidan and Ringo are kind of unfortunate. Because they're competing for popularity with the other rabbits, who is basically just racing. Let's be real. Tay is not as popular as you'd think, despite her, her legacy. And Racing 2 is definitely not popular. And then Seidan and Ringo are the only new moon bunnies we get. And it's like, you're not racing. Goodbye. Goodbye, not racing. So it's like, you either love all the bunnies, or you just like racing. That's kind of how it feels. It's either all of them or racing. That's it. Racing 1, the original Racing. The only Racing. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, to. Prospective great fortune. Baku, who rules over dreams. Do, re, mi, sweet. Capable of eating and creating dreams. If dreams are the unconscious, then the majority of the world is made up of dreams. To be ruler of dreams is to be ruler of the world. Won't you relax there? Fortune. You are caught up in a powerful destiny. So long as you don't lose yourself in it, it will bring you excellent luck. Wishes. Your dreams will come true. Make sure you remember what happened in them. Studies. Sleep learning will be effective. Get plenty of sleep. Business. You'll come up with some offbeat ideas. If you believe in yourself, you'll have a great fortune. Health. You'll be plagued by restless dreams. You'll feel a little sleep deprived. Travel. A dreamlike trip. Money. You won't have to spend money. Tools. You'll find a pillow that's just right. Body. If you lose the ability to tell dreams from reality, you'll have great misfortune. Listen, Lan, this has never happened to me, but like sometimes you have dreams that are scary. They're scary how realistic they are. And I've had those dreams, but I've never had one of those dreams and woke up and was like convinced that what I just dreamed actually happened in the real world. But I've had some annoyingly like believable dreams, mostly regarding high school era. I fucking hate those. Those happen more often than any other dream, I think, ever. I have a lot of weird mishmash dreams, but like a more consistent and grounded one that I tend to have every now and again is just like high school. I don't like that. I don't like that. The Baku yokai shares its name with a real-life animal. The Japanese name for tapir is Baku. Her monotone color scheme is patterned after the Malayan tapir. The world of dreams shouldn't have a real existence because it's nothing but a dream, but having her show up sure complicates things, huh? I think the dream world Doremi speaks of is probably something like the world of the collective unconsciousness of Jung's theories. Who's Jung? Yorigami Jung? Well, there she is. She's got her stupid little tail, her stupid little socks, her stupid little smug expression. It's very, this is very Law-K Doremi, actually. This is Law-K Doremi's design. Because in the fighting games, the top of her dress is more like a capelet, where it's a full-length dress in Law-K. And here, it's a full-length dress. You can't see into the collarbone area. It's a full dress. It's pretty cool. And all of her hair is tucked up in her hat. And I like that. You can actually see that. If you look at her hair, the flow of her hair, it's not short hair. You can see how it kind of, like the flow of the hair, it goes away and it starts going up because it's all tucked up in her hat like that. She's got long hair. You can see her hair poke through her hat in her damaged art as well. So she has long hair. She might even have silly animal ears too. But she wears a Santa hat. Because of course she does. Because of course she does. But I assume, most people just assume she has really long hair. Because you can see that she has at least semi-long hair. But yeah, the attention to detail here to have her hair ball up like that towards the top of her head is a good detail. One that you probably wouldn't even pay attention to. But the fact that it's there shows, it shows great care of the design. Sagumi. Undecided good or bad fortune. Intentionally silent goddess. Sagume Kishin. Capable of reversing the situation by speaking. I am unhappy, I am unlucky. My life is the worst. Maybe saying these things will make me lucky. Fortune. Speaking out about unnecessary things will bring you losses, but being too quiet will cause you to miss opportunities. Business. Things will never go as planned. Studies. If you study in silence, you'll definitely improve. Disputes. Be careful not to make a slip of the tongue. Travel. Places with few people are good. I also recommend the moon. Health. If you think it's good, it's bad. If you think it's bad, it's good. Wishes. If you give up, they'll come true. Love, very difficult. Money, you'll get scammed. Be careful of get-rich-quick schemes. She has a very difficult and abstract ability. It seems that she says the opposite of what she wants. It'll come true, but I'm sure she would let her true feelings slip and fail. It's hard to keep saying the opposite of what you think. Her unusual one-winged designs also gives her a very chuny-like feeling. It's a slang term that makes fun of adolescents with delusions of grandeur and or overly self-conscious, especially those who claim to possess secret powers or forbidden knowledge, from the term chunibyo. Yes. So again, Sagame's ability isn't necessarily that everything she says the opposite becomes true. It's what things that she says turns fate to work against what she says. So this kind of works here. If she says she's unhappy, then the way the world will progress will lead to happiness. If she says she is unlucky, then the world will progress towards her being lucky. That's the idea of it. But she can't just, say things and have the opposite come true. It's the way that the ability works that you have to phrase it, kind of deal. She's kind of hard to work with. Her bow tie is not there. You can't see it because her front isn't really facing. You see her stupid dress. No braid in her hair either. No braid. Something going off on her side, which I'm pretty sure is the angry girl with the torch. Clown. Yeah, there she is. Not drawn by Makoto Hirasawa, but that's fine. Feel like that's the most well-known clown piece at this point, after all, right? But he did great Fairy Wars editions. Slight misfortune, fairy dancing in the pulse of life, clown piece, capable of driving people mad. So you're saying that hell is dark and you can't see? How's this? It should be brighter now. Fortune. You'll see a light that illuminates the darkness. If you look at it for too long, your fortune will go crazy. Health. You'll be full of strength and vigor. Be careful of manic episodes. Business. You'll get a crazy profit, but you'll also get complaints later. Studies. Studying? What's that? Love. Burning brightly. Travel. Overseas. Hell and the moon are all auspicious. Refers to Hecate as bodies. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. Overseas referring to around the world, the earth. People, they'll gather like crazy. It'll be too much trouble. Disputes. If you bring them upon yourself, you'll bring them upon yourself. If they get too severe, it'll go up in flames. Tools. Torches, stars, and stripes are auspicious. Home. Check whether there's anything living under the eaves. Clown Piece lived under the Hakurei shrine after having moved against Sokyo. What's this past tense? Lived. She's still there. She didn't go anywhere. In the original game setting, she was considered strengthened and widely regarded as the strongest misfortunate fairy. A pun pronounced the same as strongest but spelled with the kanji for misfortune, making it literally most miserable. See Chirno's fortune. Already did. Now she lives in Gensokyo and will probably settle down at the same level of strength as the local fairies. But Hikatia from the background may not allow this deterioration to happen. Clown is made of that tough stuff. Tough stuff right there. Gigaglorp. Big stupid torch. Big stupid hat. And her wings that I forget she has, actually. I actually forget fairy wings pretty often. That's more my fault than anything, but yeah, there you go. That's all Clowny. Junkie. Holy curves. Very great misfortune. Unfulfilled grudge, Junko, capable of purifying. To simplify, nature, life, and emotions are no more than information. Fortune, everything you've built will crumble. You might as well cast it all away. People, it's time to reset relationships. Money, it's time, it'll turn into waste paper. Work, your daily frustrations are exploding. Consider changing jobs. Being an essential worker isn't bad. Studies, how much you usually study is important. Chemistry is auspicious. Love, watch your back. Health, you'll get stomach aches. Travel isn't fun. Lost items can't be found. Hobbies, you understand the idea of them. If you can turn your hobby into a job, you'll be successful. Her desire for revenge is so purified that the act itself is her goal, making her a pitiable being from a human perspective. However, since deities are essentially purified phenomena, you could say that she's the most godlike being in all of Toho. It's common in games for the most abstract abilities to be the most powerful. Lol. Very funny. Very funny. Man. Oh, Junko. You simply exist. And the artist is like, okay, got it. Hourglass. They give her the body of a 3-hour hourglass. Fucking tight the waist is. Yep, that's Junko, alright. That's just how it be. Why is she not pissed? I demand she be angry. No, it's okay. She's pretty chill. Just don't mention the moon around her. It's good art, though. Hikeya! Fortune, misfortune, and great misfortune. Goddess with 3 fortunes. Hikatia lapis lazuli. Capable of having 3 bodies. The number of perspectives is the size of the world. Diversity is the size of the universe itself. Fortune. It will change every morning. Not only can't you control it, but there will be more bad days than good. Work. You will be able to do the work of 3 people. Also, your workload will increase. Yeah. That one hits a little close to home. Health. Be careful not to overwork yourself. If you think your fortunes will be bad, take a break. Studies. You'll make progress, but you're prone to overdoing it. Quantum chromodynamics is auspicious. Travel. Hell will follow you wherever you go. Hot springs are always auspicious. Love. You can have up to 3 relationships at once. Competition undefeated. Don't start them yourself. People avoidable. Money. You're good at gambling. Hobbies. Fashion is auspicious. Since Gensokyo is a local in this case was Japan and the setting surrounding cultures that have historically influenced it. Setting. It's rather irregular for a girl based on Greek mythology to show up. Although having 3 bodies is a mysterious premise, because each body is in a different world, she can only be conscious of one at a time. If you think about it, if all of her consciousness were unified, it would be really noisy in her head. So her 3 different bodies exist in different worlds. So only one consciousness can be active at a time. No, she can only be conscious of one at a time. I don't really get how that works. They exist in different worlds. But she calls them and then she has the conscious. Like, how different are they? How different are they? It seems like each of them don't have their own... They're not all active at the same time. So you just have to call forth them, but like... I don't really get it. Anyway, here's Lady Crop Top. With her Welcome Hell shirt. Yeah, that's Akatia. There's not much else to say, honestly. That's what she looks like. She wears a stupid shirt, and she has a skirt. And I don't know what Zoom was thinking with it. Alright, chat. I know you see who's next. But before we do that, I have to pee. I'll be right back when we return with June. am Jun. Alright. Very great misfortune. Yeah. Pestilence god who wastes your efforts. Jun Yorigami. Capable of causing the consumption of financial assets. Money is meant to be passed from one hand to the next. Who do you think you are trying to save it up? Fortune. Living an extravagant lifestyle beyond your means will lead you to eventual ruin. Money. You will waste money that you'll never be able to get back. If you go into debt, you'll go bankrupt. Work. Jobs that are hated and flashy jobs both suit you. Work as a tax auditor or entertainer is auspicious. Health. You will be afflicted with contagious disease. Studies. Your efforts will not bear fruit. People. You're popular, but in the end, people are worse off for having known you. Travel. Avoid shrines and temples. Lost items. You'll never get them back. Love. You'll go broke, but favorable. Hobbies. Forget about the future and enjoy extravagant overspending. Just like streamer. My philosophy on money is the exact opposite of this whack job. Alright? Alright? You know what they say about opposites attracting? That right there. That right there. I have a chance. What do you got, huh? You got nothing. You got no chance. You would indulge. You failed. You failed the test. You would indulge. She's a pestilence god who silences even crying children. She brings disaster to those around her. In Sunken Fossil World, she takes advantage of the oil that suddenly gushes forth to set herself up as a fake oil baron. The idea that an oil baron who uses oil to suck up wealth from everyone and starts conflicts is the same as a pestilence god. It's the sort of edgy setting that you only see in Dojin works. She's my oiler. Alright? That's the oiler. When I say any oilers, that's who I'm looking for. I'm looking for my oiler. Wahaha. Wahaha. Look at that. The Gucci handbag. The rings on every finger. The stupid fan. The big brooch. The little gold orange ball things that go above her belt. The bracelets. The massive earrings. Holy shit, those things are bigger than her fucking chest brooch. This character is so over-designed. Holy shit. How could anyone like this character? There's way too much shit going on here. Hope you like drawing accessories, bitch boy. It's good art, though. I like the drills. It's pretty simple. Well, not even simple, but less, like, just big, couple big tufts instead of more smaller-ish ones. But they go down to the right length. So it's there. Alright, now it's time for her sister. Super misfortune. No point in even trying, poverty god. Shion Yorigami. Capable of bringing misfortune to everybody. I'm sure I'll end up disappearing, never getting to know how it feels to be happy. Fortune. Prayer is useless. The only way to deal with your misfortune is to live with it until it goes away. Work. You'll be busy but won't make money from it. Jobs where luck is necessary are especially bad choice. Studies. If you rely on luck, you'll fail. For now, studying earnestly is auspicious. Health. Will deteriorate. Hang in there. People. They'll leave you. Love. Avoid it for now. Travel. Safer not to. Home. Simple is best. Disputes. You'll always lose. Money. Restrain your spending. If you don't, you'll find yourself struggling to even put food on the table. Hobby. Master the art of poverty meals. She's a poverty god who silences even crying children. They say she'll take up residence in your home before you know it and bring you poverty. Based on that setting, poverty gods also exist that to warn you if you continue on this path, you'll fall into poverty. They say poverty gods are attracted to the smell of grilled miso, so make use of that and lure them away from your house. Okay. Now you know how to get one. Now you know how to get one yourself if you really want one. You guys wouldn't even last a fucking week with this creature living on your door. You wouldn't even last 3 days. Well, there she is. She's actually quite tall and lanky because she does not have a good diet. Which is something that I think is very important to keep in mind with this character, is the fact that she is as thin as she is because her diet is terrible. Yet, because I know how the internet works, and she's an anime character, that people decide that her assets are massive. Like, do you think she eats dirt? Do you think she eats 4,000 pounds of magic boob-growing dirt? Is that what you think? Because that's not how this works. That's not how this works. That's never been how this works. Don't even, all right? Don't even tell me this shit. Don't even. Doesn't work that way. The eating dirt doesn't mean your boobs bigger, all right? I would know. I mean, I would know that, but I'm sure many people would know that. All right? Many people have access to that information in the wide, wide world of the internet. Eternity. Ooh, that's a nice looking one. Prospective fortune. Swallowtail fairy of divine nature. Eternity larva. Capable of scattering scales. Butterflies make a perfect target for predators. Why do they have such foolishly beautiful wings? Fortune. As long as you take care of your health, things will steadily improve. However, you can't grow complacent. Health. Always be careful. In particular, have the utmost caution around predators. Health. Take care of your lungs. Everything else will get better. Business. A turning point is coming. Bold decisions will be auspicious. Studies. You'll greatly improve each time there's an exam. Moving. Fairly auspicious whether you go near or far. Hobbies. There'll be an opportunity for you to change yourself greatly. Transform yourself. As the embodiment of nature, fairies are essentially immortal. Furthermore, she's the power of transformation. Metamorphosis is in insect terms. She's also charity close to a god. But she unfortunately sure doesn't have much power, although her wings are pretty. Larvae are gross. Yucky. Yucky boog. Squishy head. It's pretty good smudging. The pattern on the wings is very nice. The perspective from the flower, too. It's a really good image. It's really good. It's almost wasted on this character, but that's not the point. Nemono Sakata. Slight fortune. Yamamba at the isolated foot of the mountain. Nemono Sakata, capable of creating sanctuaries. I'm all fed up with society. Sometimes having a world to yourself is also a good thing. Fortune. You'll live a life free from the hustle and bustle of society, but you won't have any allies. Home. Take care of your home. Relocation. Not ideal. Avoid it. Travel. Limited to nearby places. Business. You won't establish one. Studies. You'll make progress. Stay home and concentrate. Health. Perfectly healthy. You'll never catch a cold. Waiting. You rarely meet people. Visitors are good opportunities. Sharpen your knives. Love won't happen. Marriage. Don't get your hopes up. Conflict won't happen. It's a bit lonely. Part of the forest at the foot of the Yokai Mountain is a sanctuary uncontrolled by any power. It's a paradise for hermits like the Yamamba and animals. Okay, when I read hermits, I was like, that's not the hermit, like the term. I was thinking of a different hermit from Toho, but hermit is also a term for, yeah. Anyway, when people think of Yamamba, they think of a yokai that kills and eats lots of people, but I think that is a way of saying, don't you dare enter my sanctuary as a threat. And, well, there you go. She's primed and ready to swing. Chat, not every character can be a winner. That's all. That's all. Sometimes you design a character and they just don't really take off. That's just how it is sometimes. Someone has to be the least popular character, right? Someone has to be the least popular character, but I imagine as a creator, it probably sucks a bit when you design a character. You make them up, you create a backstory, you put them out there, and then they just don't resonate with a lot of people. They just don't resonate with much people at all, and it's like, oh, you know, you still like them, you made them, but like, damn, man, that's gotta suck. Ah-ooh, ah-ooh. Great fortune, guardian Komainu of the Hakurei Shrine, capable of finding Shintoism and Buddhism. What a great thing to get a lucky charm, and 2 of them at that. Fortune, a safe and bright fortune awaits you. Don't forget faith in the gods and in Buddha. Disasters, you will be protected from all disasters. Business, you will not fail. Anything related to religion is very auspicious. Studies, you'll make progress. You won't be distracted while studying. Housing, stable. It's even better if you place Komainu statues. Relocation, avoid for now. Travel, shrines and temples are comforting. Animals, just avoid monkeys. That's related to the idiom about monkeys and dogs don't get along. Yeah, dog and monkey relationship. Marriage, you'll find a compatible partner. Birth, easy. You'll be blessed with children. These Komainu guard many shrines and temples. Their roots go back to ancient Egypt, and they're ancient yokai that have changed along the history of civilization. Apparently, there are 2 of her, but I'm skeptical since they rarely ever appear at the same time. They're kind of like doppelgangers that kill you when you meet them. Ref needed. Sad face. Well, I know. The idea of a doppelganger is that apparently, if you meet your doppelganger, you die. That's kind of it. You meet your doppelganger and you die. So you're told not to do that. Anyway, here's On. Whoa! Look at that pup. I like her outfit. Her outfit has grown on me because at first I thought her outfit was stupid, but now she just looks like. She looks like she belonged in a surf shack. You know? Like if you went to a beach and you went to the fucking shitty, dilapidated wooden hut that is the big kahuna lives in, you go in there, this is his dog. His dog is On. You go in there and you find this dog. She's grown on me. On's popularity is quite low, but it's compared to the rest of 16, the majority of 16, it's not that low. It's impressive that she's not as popular as she is, in my opinion, but what do I know? I'm just some guy. Puppy. Narumi. Very great fortune. The Jizo statue, a magical life form, Narumi Yatadera, capable of using magic, mainly life manipulation. It's a good thing that you can depend on me for as long as 5.67 billion years. The Bodhisattva Maitreya, the final Buddha in the current eon, is said to obtain Buddhahood. Buddhahood in about 5.67 billion years. Oh. Damn, that's not close. That's not close at all. Fortune. Just by offering flowers to Jizo, you'll be able to receive many benefits. First, the Buddha Sutra outlining 28 benefits of a pious worship can receive by making an offering such as flowers to a Jizo. Housing. Don't get robbed. Illness. Cured. You won't contract anything. Studies. You'll receive wisdom from a previous life so you won't struggle. Business. It won't necessarily be profitable, but at least your subordinates will be happy. People. You'll be naturally respected. Health. You'll have sweet dreams and be guarded by divine spirits. Disputes. Let go of such unreasonable things. Where am I? I lost myself. Disputes. Let go of such unreasonable things. Travel. Anywhere is auspicious. Make sure to pray to Jizo wherever you go. Otherwise, you will lose everything you have. She's a magical life form created when a Jizo statue was given life by the forest's magical power. If you think of Jizo fighting, you might imagine them attacking with a rock-hard headbutt, but she's a magical type, not a physical type. Jizo statues are common and all over the place, but they have blessings that put the gods of the local shrines to shame. She's tough stuff. She's made of tough stuff. Look at her in her big snowy hat. That snow is so iconic to her hat, it's kind of funny at this point. Also, her big goofy earlobes. I wonder if her goofy earlobes have to do with her lower popularity. Because, well, you know, they're definitely an acquired interest. That's for sure. Very front and center. I think Narumi is pretty cool. Snow hat. My Tereda. Oh boy. Good fortune. My Tereda is the green one, by the way. Doji who dances to the point of exhaustion. My Tereda. Capable of drawing out people's vital energy by dancing behind them. Oh ho, you went and drew me, huh? Unexpected stuff is the best spice of life. Fortune. Power beyond your native abilities will constantly gush forth. However, there will be backlash. Chat, you want to bet that the majority of this fortune reads exactly the same on the other bastard? You'll be brimming with vitality and feel light on your feet. If you push yourself too hard, you'll ruin your health. Travel. Places where a festival is being held are auspicious. Also bamboo groves. Studies. You'll improve in your best subject. Work. You'll be highly motivated and make good progress. Your motivation will be exploited. Be on guard for layoffs. Love. Being over-enthusiastic is inauspicious. People. You'll make a huge mistake in a serious setting and people will leave you. Money. You'll scatter it around. Wishes. This is a good chance to achieve an ambition beyond your stature. Alright. Alright. She exists for the sake of a ritual. For the sake of ritual, almost like she's an artificial life form. She's like this because she has no past of her own, and the reason behind that is Okina. Haha, I get it. Behind. Like the door. She's holding a stick of bamboo as a representation of her childishness. As a kid, long, straight rods held a real fascination, didn't they? And thin bamboo made the best weapon of all. Alright, Zun, first of all, that's not just a thing that you see as a kid. It doesn't matter how fucking old you are. You can be 4 years old. You can be 83 years old. A cool stick is a cool stick. Okay? See, the boys will get it. This is where I farm So True Reacts, because this is true. It doesn't matter how old you are, a cool looking stick is a cool looking stick. And that is something that all men can we can all share in that knowledge that we're all so fucking easy to please like that. we're all so easy to please like that. Whoa, is that a cool stick? Look at that stick. That's a sharp bamboo pole. Well, I don't live in a region with bamboo, so I didn't get bamboo. My bad. There you go, there's Mai. Okay, and here's Satono. Good fortune. Doji who dances to the point of disappearance. Satono Nichida, the pink one. Capable of drawing out people's spiritual energy by dancing behind them. Why do you look so distressed with me here cheering you on so much even? Fortune. You'll be able to take vigorous action and fortune will be on your side. You'll be exhausted afterwards. Work. By focusing on work free of distracting thoughts, you'll produce good results. Be on guard for layoffs. Health. Your forgetfulness will worsen. That's weird. No, that's weird because Maya's the one who's supposedly a scatterbrain. So why is that in Satono's fortune? Maybe Zun forgot. Maybe he didn't care. No one cares about these characters. Studies, PE, art, and music are auspicious. Cheerleading is very auspicious. Travel, highly populated areas are auspicious. Love, you'll be able to forget the bad times so it'll go well. People, treasure your friends. Disputes, they'll happen around you, but you won't be involved yourself. Money, you'll scatter it around. Wishes, it's a good chance to fulfill them. It's worth pushing yourself beyond the limits. Just like mine, no visible traces of her past remains. However, the difference in personality between the two surely results for the remainders of their original temperaments. Which is why there's a specific line in Toho 16 when Satono shows up and she says, "Oh my, you're such a scatterbrain." So that line comes from this character referring to the other character. So it's weird to me that the health one here specifies forgetfulness. Because, well, in a way, it makes sense because they have no memory of their past at all. Whereas the other one is scatterbrained. So, there you go. The thing she's holding is Japanese ginger. Folklore holds that eating Japanese ginger will make you lose your memories, but of course that's just superstition. Maybe that's what has to do with why that's there. She does seem to suffer badly from forgetfulness, though. Does she? I thought it was the other one who did. Personality. Overconfident, gentle. Official profiles. Pair, purpose, hardly had a memory as time, joy, personality the same as they were human. Mai is a scatterbrain, but she's quick to take action. Satono is discreet, but slightly overconfident. So you see? So according to Satono's Omake, Mai is the scatterbrain one. Okay, whatever. Who cares? Nobody actually cares, man. Look at this character. Do you care? I don't care. Whatever, I don't care. I don't care. Anyway, yeah, these characters are kind of tragic because they just don't get to do anything, and then the nature of them means they can't do anything, and they have less character to them than some PC 98 characters do. Like, that sounds like I'm saying, like, oh, of course Mima has more character than these characters, but I'm not talking about Mima. There are PC 98 characters who have more of an impact in appearance than these two do, because as big as an impact that Okina had and her constant reappearances after her debut, these little two fuckers, her left and right hand here, just don't appear, they don't get mentioned, they're just not anywhere. It's just really weird how not involved those two characters are, despite Okina. Even when Okina shows up in like written works, they don't even show up as like background characters. They're never with Okina at all. They are never with her at all. Very great misfortune. Prospective great misfortune. Absolute secret god of Gensokyo, Okina Madara, capable of creating doors on the back of anything. Damn you, Okina Madara. Was this event you're doing as well? Fortune. Even if things seem to be going well, there are hidden meanings behind everything. Work. Thing will go smoothly if you don't bother looking for the truth. The entertainment industry is auspicious. Oh, wow. That's a jab and a half. Studies. The arts are auspicious. Backdoor admission is always an option. Breaking non-traditional ways of getting into post-secondary schools. I don't, like what? Health. Be careful of serious injury. Try to find a good wheelchair. Travel, avoid temples. Marriage, arranged marriages are auspicious. Lost items, you will never be found again. Will never be found again. Money, be cautious of dirty money. People, you'll be blessed with loyal and capable subordinates. Competition, unbeatable when it comes to hide and seek. Hobbies, no sounds good. She's a god of no. Madara Jin became associated with no at some point, even being represented as a god of art. Yeah, he knew Kawakatsu. Or something like that. Or he's the god of no, and Kawakatsu made the masks. Hata no Kawakatsu, and he knew Prince Shotoku. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, there's a tie in relation with her and Kokoro, because Madara, the god that Okina is based off, is kind of like has a lot of text about them, like a lot of text, so much more than I can even understand. Her name has 6 characters in kanji and 6 characters in hiragana, but that doesn't matter to anything. Oh, thanks for sharing, though. Regardless, the fact that she can mess with everything even while sitting in a chair makes her seem like an evil boss. Well, maybe that's just the image people are spreading. Okina Madara. Oki. She's got a weird drum, and she's standing. Damn, she got some thick legs. Huh. Uh-oh. Chat. I'm having trouble with her torso length here. Oh no, don't do this again, streamer. No, look, okay. So you can see where her chest is, right? You can see the indentation on the tabard. And it goes down to her stomach. But then we get to her legs. And we get to her knees. And it's, I don't know, it feels like her legs are kind of short. She's leaning back. Yeah, I guess. I guess she's leaning back and coming more towards the camera. But it's hard to see what's going on there. And it makes her legs feel kind of odd. Her clothes are big, but you can see her kneecap. That's the thing. You can see her kneecap on her back leg, and then you can see where her boot is connecting above the kneecap. You can see the lower leg, and it's just kind of doesn't feel like there's a lot of room given to it. Anyway, it's not as bad as the other one. Eika. Oh, so okay. So Tokiyame did the art for 17. Oh, pardon me. There's great fortune, the idol of stillborn children, Eika Ebisu, capable of stacking stones well. You're winning as long as you're having fun, even if you're dead. Fortune, your future is bright, the small joys will continue, and you will have fun. Business, menial work is very auspicious. Studies, making an effort will no longer feel like a chore, and you'll definitely be rewarded. Health, no injuries, getting lots of exercise would be auspicious. Disputes, auspicious even if you lose. Love, one-sided but auspicious. Marriage, don't worry about it. Travel, if someone calls you from the shore, avoid them. Also, tall buildings are inauspicious. Home, it will become brighter. Your heart is your only ally. Hobbies, participating in live shows is auspicious. Have a lot of fun. Because she's the idol of the Sainokawa. That's why. Sometimes I see videos of unbelievably skilled people stacking stones. It seems like a special ability. Eika also seems to have a sort of special balancing ability. What's more, it's wonderful that she's not bothered by menial work. If she wasn't where she is, I'm sure she'd have been suited to creative activities. Why'd you have to make a dead baby, Zun? Why'd you have to do that? Man, that's just kind of weird. You got long legs, holy shit. This is kind of weird. Urumi Ushizaki. Misfortune. Ushioni carrying a stone baby. Urumi Ushizaki. Capable of changing the weight of everyday objects. Does the weight come from the density of the stone or from the malice of the earth? Fortune. Your body and mind will feel heavy and the flow won't take you in a good direction. Health. Your lower back and shoulders will be affected. Your arms too. Birth. Heavy. It'll be difficult. What was I even reading? Heavy, it will be difficult, but that baby will be sturdy. Business. Fishing and dairy farming are auspicious, but be careful of drowning. Studies, neither good or bad. Travel. Visiting the water side comes with many hazards. Be careful. Marriage. A good person with children will appear. Housing. Build a massive home. Disputes. They may be common, but don't give up. Lost items. Found in the belly of an ancient fish. In yokai picture scrolls, Ushion are often depicted as spider-like. Urami's traits are more of that of a Nura Ona, a story from the Sanin region. Contains the Shimane and Tottori prefectures on the southwest coast of Japan. In the legend, she transforms to a human and takes care of babies. I found it more appealing than the spider look, so that's what I went for. Nure Ona. Wow. That's... Is that why her ability card in 18.5 is like a Gorgon? Is this why? Because she's based on like this particular one? She's kind of a freak. Kind of a freak. Freak. Urami. Sokiyami again. He did the art for her Who's Who. I pointed out in the last video I made as well that as an Oni, she actually has chains on her aesthetic, which is on her shoes, which I think is really cool. I think the rest of her outfit is laundry day apparel, but whatever. Anyway, chat, I'll be right back. I'm developing a headache, and I need to take a pill for it. I'll be right back. Hi. I'm gonna do over the shimmy. We want me to open Discord? Go look at it? You want me to look at that again? I don't want to look at that again. Oh, God. One sec. Talking so much that the bad juice in the back of my throat are like fucking accumulating and sticking. It's not very pleasant. Kutaka! Slight fortune. Chicken god guarding the checkpoint. Kutaka Niwatari. Capable of healing illnesses of the throat. Why do chickens cry out early in the morning? Did they just wake up from a terrible nightmare? Ugh. Fortune. You stand at a crossroads in your fortune. You have an excellent view, but your options are limited. The word he used here is Miwatashi, a reference to one of the names of the god Kutaka is based on Miwatari. Sickness. Sicknesses of the throat will heal. People. Your voice will improve with your throat's condition, so you'll leave a good impression. Business. Business involving talking or singing is very auspicious. Studies. Music is auspicious. You're bird-brained. Home. Living in a mountain pass will increase your luck. Love. Make your decision. Either move forward or turn back. Health. Early to bed, early to rise is auspicious. Disputes. You'll often find yourself standing at the center of a dispute. You'll be caught up in trouble. She's something you don't often see, a chicken god. Unlike the treatment of modern domesticated chickens, it seems in ancient times, chicken were held sacred. I don't know if it's a hair piece or if it's dyed, but her hairstyle is done up to represent a rooster's comb. It was meant as a divine representation of life essence, but it ended up just being a cute bird nest accessory. Okay, so even Zun isn't aware if it's a hair extension or dyed hair, the red part of her hair. So it's a little nest for the little bird friend that she's got. Pio! That's his name. That's his name, Pio. No whistle. The whistle is only present in 17.5. But this is the guy who did the art for 17.5, so... You know, I thought maybe he'd include it. Oh well, still looks good though. No stranger to this guy's art. The heavy ink style that he does is very unique. Like, it sticks out. I think it's cool personally. Yashie Kisho, good fortune. Jidiao, serving as a boss of the Kiketsu family. Yashio Kisho. Capable of sapping others' will to resist. See, if you had just acted that way from the start, you could have had a longer life. Fortune. If you make good use of your subordinates, you'll succeed. However, your enemy will grow in number. Business. Leave it to your subordinates. Nothing good will come from taking a hands-on role. People. You'll gather submissive people around you. Disputes. You'll definitely win. Studies. If you study hard, you'll improve. If you show good results, you'll be able to gather support. Health. If you neglect it, you'll regret it. Travel. The city of the waterfront is good. Money. You'll make a profit if you have any ill-gotten gains. Don't hang on to them. Love. Don't make a move on a subordinate. Animals. Otters are cute. Okay. She's the boss of the Kiketsu family, one of the organizations that rule over the beast spirits. She had a troublesome power that can render anyone who faces her powerless. There's a bit of a flaw, though, because it means her subordinates all end up incompetent. Oh. I never thought of it like that. She herself has a sharp mind, but her subordinates' lack of initiative or loyalty is always causing her problems. That's the sort of organization the Kiketsu family has become. But she really likes otters. She looks like a bad bitch, but you know what? You know what? Maybe she's got a heart of gold, right? Maybe you can fix her. Me? Not me. I'm not interested. I got a different kind of problem that I gotta work out, and this one ain't it. Alright? This this one ain't it, boys. This one ain't it. Alright. Mayumi. Middle fortune. Lamala Armored Warrior, National Treasure, refers to an archaeological discovery of a Haniwa depicting an armored warrior that had been designated a National Treasure of Japan. Haniwa and Keiko armor. Mayumi Jotogu, capable of turning her loyalty directly into strength. You would be wise to fear me. My loyalty is the second strongest in the world. Fortune. Because of a deep-rooted earnestness, you'll have a steady fortune. Make sure not to overdo it. Work. If you swear allegiance to your company, your abilities will improve. Protection-related jobs are very auspicious. Business. You'll profit equal to the work you put in. Studies. Ancient history, ceramics, swordsmanship, and horsemanship are auspicious. Health. Although you have a strong body, it's surprisingly frail in places. Be very careful of injuries. Disputes. Not with your own flesh and blood. Love. A fragile relationship. You'll break up. Marriage. Trust in your partner and it'll go well. Travel. A burial mound is auspicious. Hobbies. Take up horseback riding and your luck will improve. It seems that in recent research on the lamellar armored warrior Haniwa that was used as her motif, they discovered that it was originally painted in the colors of red and white. I was relieved to hear that the cute little knot was painted in red, the same color as it is on Mayumi. But something like a robot, moving at the orders of the one who created her, with her thin sense of self, it seems like her worries would be few as well. So she's based on a historical find. Click it. Haniwa warrior in Keiko armor. I mean, I guess that's not really shocking. That's not shocking. But what Zun's comment here says is that they discovered that she was originally painted in red and white. So the Haniwa was painted in red and white, and the little knot, the knots were painted red, which matches up to what he ended up doing. Cool. And here she is, Mayumi. I remember when 17 came out. 17 came out, or like the demo dropped, and then it was clear what the motif of the game was, and then the full game came out, and all these animal motifs existed, and people saw this character and they were like, "Is she an armadillo?" You know what? She could have been. She could have been an armadillo. She's not at all, but she could have been. I understand why people thought that. I do understand why people thought that. Is there any art of that? Good question. I don't know. But I do remember that first comments about this character were like, "Is she an armadillo?" I would believe it. It's because of the armor for sure, you know. I think it's definitely because of the armor. But no, she's just a Haniwa. Keiki Hania Sushin. Great fortune. Model making god who even crafts national treasures. Keiki Hania Sushin. Capable of producing idols. Are you still enthralled to your telomeres? Let's remake you with this clay and water. A component of DNA, deterioration of the telomeres, is often thought to be a part of the cause of aging. Oh. I didn't... Okay. Fortune. Nothing flashy, but things will go how you want them to. You will be blessed with many supporters. Work. Creative activities are universally very auspicious. Idol, models, pottery, and manufacturing work are also auspicious. Studies. Arts and crafts are very auspicious. Health. Lack of proper exercise will damage your health. People. You'll get subordinates who will absolutely never defy you. Travel. A burial mound tour is auspicious. Love. Someone with similar hobbies. Childbirth. You'll have a big family. Lost items. Just remake them. Hobbies. Tour museums and art galleries to increase your store of knowledge. Disaster. You'll be hated by animals. She's a figure sculptor. Perhaps many people these days use 3D CG, but she's of the traditional school that uses clay. Her song, Entrusting the World to Idols, is one of the more popular ones, but the song's name has a sinister meaning to it. It suggests a repudiation of humanity and rule by a transcendent entity, like, for example, an AI. Yikes. Ooh, yikes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, son. Couldn't help himself, could he? Couldn't help himself, could he? Keiki. She's got a lot of shit going on in her outfit, that's for sure. Poor boy. Poor boy. Saki Kurokuma. Wait, why is that not drawn by Tokiyami? It's kind of weird. Great fortune. Jet black horse serving as boss of the Keiga family, Saki Kurokuma. Capable of having unparalleled leg strength. The steed of a god is itself a god. That means the steed of a human must be a human. Fortune. You will seize your luck with unstoppable momentum. Literally bamboo splitting momentum. From the way that a piece of bamboo starts to split, it splits effortlessly all the way to the bottom. It's possible you'll have too much momentum and end up going around in circles. Work. Work that keeps you on the move is auspicious. Chauffeur, trucker, and athlete are very auspicious. Study. Like the east wind to a horse's ear. A reference to the poem Reply to Wang the 12th Drinking Alone on a Cold Night by Tang Dynasty Chinese poet Li Bai. It's a metaphor for something good being wasted on someone incapable of understanding it. Literally refers to how the spring east wind, which is pleasant to humans, causes horses to grow restless. Oh. Exercise. You will be successful developing your body with every type of exercise. Health. You'll be startled how healthy you are. Travel. The further, the more auspicious. Air travel is especially good. Love. You'll shoot your shot. Home. If you feel cramped, move out. Money. You'll lose your attachment to it. People. Muscleheads will gather around you. Literally muscle idiots, with one of the kanji and idiot being the kanji for horse. Hobbies. Sports are good. Anything that requires thinking is not for you. Animals. Wolves are cool. She likes strong people and wants to be strong herself, so she never neglects her training. She's a straightforward and pleasant yokai beast. However, her brains are as weak as her body is strong, and she's not good at setting up complicated strategies. She herself is aware of this weakness, and so she tends to follow the advice of her subordinates. Perhaps that's the reason her subordinates like her so much. Oh, I like that. I actually like that a lot. So, she's not very smart, and she's kind of just, you know, muscles. But she's aware of that, and she's very level-headed about that. You're just using big words because I'm not that smart. That right there, that's why she's the boss. Wow. That's why she's the boss, chat. Because the workers respect her. Good for her. Yuma. Why is this one drawn by Tokiyame? Well, I know why. It's because he did the art for the game. But why is Saki randomly not drawn by Tokiyame? It's just like, it's Akimagi Yu for some reason. That's really random. Great fortune. Ravenous devil leader of the Goyoku Alliance. Yuma Totetsu. Capable of absorbing anything. Predator versus prey. Which of them is stronger goes without saying. Fortune. By greedily swallowing your fortune whole, you'll turn your natural misfortune into good fortune. Business. The wider you extend your reach, the more you'll profit. Work. A restaurant is auspicious. As a competitive eater, you're unbeatable. Studies. You'll absorb the material. Dietary science is auspicious. Travel. Go on an eating tour. Disputes. You're unbeatable. Home. A spacious home is good. Money. Food expenses will pile up. If your money runs out, so will your luck. Health. Overeating and food poisoning are your everyday bread and butter. Literally rice and tea for those who prefer Japanese food. Hobbies. The first time you try anything, you'll get hooked. You're obsessive. The Taoti is one of China's inauspicious beasts, but engravings that use the Taoti as a motif have the meaning of warding off evil, so it feels a little ambiguous whether it's inauspicious or auspicious, right? Taoti in Toho is based more on the latter idea of being something like a guardian deity rather than an inauspicious beast. By the way, the pattern on her skirt is the pattern from the Taoti engravings. She seems like the type of person who would put a symbol of herself on the clothes she wears, doesn't she? Oh. I didn't know that. Yeah, I would agree with that. She does seem like the kind of person who would do that. I agree. I didn't know that. Isn't it cool? I'm glad that this is drawn the way it is. This is actually very important. This is very important. This is Tokiyami. He drew this the first time, and he's drawing it here. And Zun can go fuck himself. Alright? Zun doesn't get to say anything here. This is what she should always have looked like. No changing that. Don't change that. Your idea was worse. Don't try to tell everybody else it wasn't. Alright, we're on 18 now. I think we got about 20-ish left. I think I got 20-ish left. Holy squishy! What the fuck? Great fortune. Kaliko Maneki Neko suited for the storefront. Mike Gotokuji. Capable of inviting in monsters or customers. Please stop by and take a look. You can pay on your way out. A stereotypical phrase used by promoters of shows and other entertainments is a declaration that customers don't have to pay if the show didn't meet their expectations, similar to satisfaction or your money back in English, sometimes used more generally in a metaphorical sense for any product. Fortune. If you are in the hospitality industry, you will be lucky. If you're not, start immediately. Business. You will very much thrive, however, you must choose if you want either your customers or your income to increase. If you are greedy, you will see hell. Studies. Mathematics and economics are auspicious. Travel. Business is more important than that. Love. In any case, it's business. Marriage. Even if it's just for money, it'll be a good match. Home. People will gather and the mice will disappear. faith. Temples are better than shrines. Always give thanks to a thriving business. Fail to do so and you will see hell. Alright. She is one of the many Maneki Neko put in storefronts as a good luck charm. If your right paw is raised, it's money. If it's the left paw, it's bringing people in. I've heard something like that. If you know the origins from the Gotokuji temple's beckoning cat, then the effects don't make any sense. According to the legend, a cat beckoned a passing lord into Gotokuji, which then provided him with shelter during a passing thunderstorm. It is a little strange how that lucky cat ended up tied to business fortunes, but still the legend is so prominent that Gotokuji has it on their website. Gotokuji's cat was probably just wiping its face from the high humidity. If that becomes something like a god of luck, then it really is very lucky. That's a funny thought. That's a funny thought. Bang. Look at how squishy she is. Holy anime. Dude, I tell ya. Look at that pinky. Look at those pinky toes. Oh my god. I tell you, man, when I do heads, I have a habit of making heads smaller and eyes smaller. I have to, like, really try to make anime head. Because you're supposed to have about an eye's length of space between the eyes. But then, like, you get this, and that's not inaccurate. There is an eye's length between them, but it's also, like a big anime face, right? So I have a hard time making anime head. I have to, like, fight that and figure out how to, like, do it without it feeling weird. I don't know, man. It is a problem I have. Takane Yamashiro. Good fortune. Yamawaro skewed at business. Takane Yamashiro, capable of manipulating forest key. Business can always be done no matter the location. Yes, even in the very depths of the mountains. Fortune. The more you take action, the greater the results you'll achieve. But getting carried away will lead to failure. Business. You'll have the greatest of all opportunities. Work others won't do is very auspicious. Studies. Learn things related to money and accounting. Travel. You can't go anywhere but the mountains. Camping is auspicious. Home. Live in the mountains even if you have to camp out. Hobbies. How about camping? Health. Not particularly good, not particularly bad. Love. You won't gush with interest. Marriage. Watch out for marriage fraud. Disputes. You go to war with the Kappa. Yamawaro have shown up before as minor characters in the manga and such, but she's the first one to show up in a game. The Yamawaro are building a society based around capital, in some respects not too different from human society. I have a feeling they may even be doing business in the human village in secret. Well, I mean, the Kappa do that too, you know. They're building a society based around capital. What the fuck do you think the Kappa have been doing since you introduced them in Mountain of Faith? Okay. There is a bit of interest there, actually. That last line about doing business in the human village in secret. That's actually kind of cool. That's interesting. But the Kappas have been running stalls and shit since forever. This ain't news, bro. This ain't news. Alright. I have a feeling, bro. You're the writer. What do you mean a feeling? Right? The way he be wording shit. Alright, here is Squishy Takane. Well. Yeah, that... Okay. Yep. Sanyo. Oh my god, it's a little girl! Oh, what the fuck? Alright. That is a child. Good fortune or misfortune. Yamajoru of smoke and gambling. Sanyo Komakusa. Capable of controlling minds with tobacco smoke. A life without gambles is a mechanical existence, where you can do nothing about your suffering but endure it. Fortune. More and more you will find new opportunities for gambling. Gambling will ruin you. Okay. Sickness. Be careful of lung disease. Business. Whether it's a profit or a loss, all depends on your luck. Studies. Guessing at random on tests is auspicious. There's an outside chance of scoring highly. Travel. A plateau is good. Disputes. Disputes birth further disputes. If you can act as a mediator, there will be peace. Love. If your gamble pays off. Marriage. It's alright to take a gamble. Hobbies. Hanafuda Hachi Hachi is the most auspicious. Money. Even if you find yourself with a big profit, you'll undoubtedly keep going until you lose it all. As a smoker and a gambler, she's a yokai with somewhat adult and very decadent tastes. Tobacco smoke is a bother for the people around the smoker more than the smoker themselves. God, that's true. So I think she may end up being more disliked than she needs to be. But that smoke is actually the basis of her power, and she uses it for the benefit of those around her. That sort of setting feels very much like Gensokyo. Or whatever you say, dude. 5th least popular character in the entire series. LMAO! Look at this baby. Sir, that is a child. You've turned her into a child. Itty bitty creature. She can't smoke. This is an illegal depiction. She can't be holding that. She's holding that for Papa, alright? That's what she's doing. Papa had to go to the loo, so she's holding his pipe lit for him. That's what's going on here. Misamaru Tamatsukuri. Oh my Jesus, bro, it just doesn't stop! At this point, Tsukasa is gonna be like an actual fucking potato. Like, she's just gonna be a round little bean girl. Great fortune. God hardened by minerals. Misamaru Tamatsukuri. Capable of making Megatama. Do you still plan to dig them up? Those rare ore that have been dormant since the age of gods. Rokugo's Tsukasa is like that. The guy who draws the Rumi all the time, he's got an itty bitty little Tsukasa. Do you still plan to dig them up? Those rare ores that have been dormant since the age of gods. I think I just read that, but I forgot. Fortune. You'll be unexpectedly blessed with wealth and power. You should go and search for them yourself. Money. The greatest of opportunities will come knocking. If now's not the time to earn some money, when is? Business. You'll strike gold. Mining activities are very auspicious. Studies. Archaeology is auspicious. Health. Avoid UV rays. They'll ruin your skin. Travel. Mountains are good. Mountains with gold or silver mines are the most auspicious. Love. You'll find someone who loves jewelry. Missing items. You'll find them underground. Tools. You can make full use of crystal power. Jade is very auspicious. A mysterious god who's knowledgeable about minerals. In the outside world, mineral research means the study of things like geology, gemology, and natural resource management. In Gensokyo, mineral research means the study of folklore, cause and effects, and magical powers related to the minerals. Among those minerals are some directly connected to the Age of Gods. These rare objects are known as Izanagi objects. So we all know Misamaru. Misamaru is a character that Zung created and was like, by the way, this character made Reimu's orbs. And then that's it. Like, wow, that's really interesting, Zun. And he's like, ain't it so? And then he just didn't care to do anything else with this character ever again. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That bothers me. That bothers me a lot. Almost as much as her jaw bothers me. Oh, her jaw bothers me quite a bit. Whatever. Tsukasa. Oh my god. She's... You people are all fucked up. You know that? You guys are all fucked up. This entire art style, and suddenly it's this creature. Look at that. Look at that. Why is there emphasis on the curves? Why is this the only character so far by this artist with emphasis on her curvature? Prospective misfortune. Kuda Gitsune who whispers wickedness. Tsukasa Kudamaki. Capable of slipping into weak spots in a soul. Don't tell anyone I told you this, but if you don't take action right away, you're going to end up losing out. Fortune. You'll be taken in by a story that's too good to be true. You will be used up and then thrown away. Business, you will prosper for a time, but sooner or later it will all fall apart. Work, an information handling job is auspicious. Business that requires trust is inauspicious. Money, you'll make comfortable profits, but your losses will be many. Studies, Japanese, mathematics, and chemistry are auspicious. Ethics are very inauspicious. Health, be careful of psychosomatic illnesses, or illness. People, you will lose trust. Marriage, watch out for marriage fraud. Disputes. You can escape disputes by foisting them off onto others. Career advancement. You know how to get ahead in life. Bend the truth if needed, so long as you aren't caught. She's all smiles and acts like a friend to everyone, but she's a yokai who brings ruin to any human who gets involved with her. Making effective use of her is a daunting task. Thanks to her Akuda Kitsune network, she has some of the best access to information in all of Gensokyo, so as long as you don't get in too deep, she'll do good work for you. Even though she's a Kitsune yokai, she's not very skilled at transforming her shape. Her skills lie instead in possession and manipulation. Gaslight, girl boss, gatekeep. You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? Like the art style is the same, but there's curvature. There's hips. You motherfuckers can't control yourselves. Megumu. You're not the same artist. You can't be. There's no way you are. The lines are too clean. You're a great misfortune. Very great fortune. Great Tengu soaring among the night skies. Megumu Izunamaru. Capable of manipulating the starry sky. Cast your gaze upward. Each one of those is a soul within our grasp. Fortune. You have a powerful fate. If you don't show a powerful will, you'll be at its mercy. Business. Your business will grow into something bigger than yourself, though you may not see profit from it. Work. A subordinate will commit fraud. Studies. Science, particularly astronomy, is auspicious. Money. The money will flow. Health. Good. However, going hungry will lead to illness. Love. You'll have a romantic love affair. People. You will impact the fortunes of many people. Travel. Atop a mountain is good. Hobbies. Photography is good. Wishes. Wish on a shooting star and it will come true. She's an authority among the Tengu. Tengu society follows an absolute hierarchy, so a great Tengu possesses great power and influence, but for that reason there are also many who are aiming for her seat. It's never shown, but she also actually writes newspaper articles. However, being a great Tengu, she doesn't do any of her own reporting. She just rehashes and summarizes other Tengu's articles as an armchair journalist, so her articles aren't popular. This bitch. This bitch. She just takes other people's papers and rehashes and summarizes them. Goodness. Her shit ain't popular. Oh my god. Wait, is her tripod floating over her arm? What are you doing? That shit, what are you doing that for? Wait, are you wearing stockings? No, you can't convince me. You can't get me that easily. Oh, you had me for a second there, but I'm not that easy. No, not me. Chimada. Fortune undecided. God trading even in destinies. Shimada, thank you. Capable of allowing loss of ownership. When did humans develop the mistaken belief that destiny was something they could own? Fortune. You lose the luck you had finally attained. Conversely, you'll attain someone else's luck. Business. If you devote yourself to free trade, you'll attain the best luck. If you're greedy, you'll fail. Work. It will have major ups and downs. Working retail is auspicious. Studies. Economics is auspicious. Money. Your current investments are inauspicious. Start over. Okay. Pull out of the coin, boys. We gotta find a new coin. Love. You'll meet a partner who won't try to tie you down. Marketplace. Travel. Marketplaces are very auspicious. Missing items. You'll find them in the soil. Illness. It'll fly away. Hobbies. If you let pieces of your collection go, it'll end up growing. Sorry, I just felt lightheaded there for a second. Give me a second. So I think I'm only doing this today. I'm almost done. It'll be a little bit more, but I don't really know if I have much in me after this anyway. I don't feel very good. Ugh. Alright. She's a marketplace god who really catches your attention with her distinctive pose and eccentric fashion sense. To explain her ability simply, she can manipulate ownership. Ordinarily, even if someone loses possession of something they own, they retain ownership of it nonetheless. Likewise, just gaining possession of something will not give them ownership. In order for buying and selling to be possible, You must make a contract to temporarily return your goods to the gods, and the gods will then convey ownership to the buyer. Is that how that works? Here's Shimada. She's goofy. I really feel like this character was supposed to be taken really seriously, but the pose that she does is just so silly that it's impossible to take her seriously. She could hold a gun to my head and be like, I'm robbing you. And I'd be like, whoa, you silly goose. Like, I can't take her serious at all, no matter what she does. No matter what she does. Just because she strikes a silly pose in her debut game, and it solidifies her as a silly character. I can't take her seriously. Momoyo Himemushi. Very great fortune. Ooh, Mukade, who swallows luck whole. Momoyo Himemushi. She's a throat goat, capable of eating dragons. Ha ha ha, the one who drinks the flowing river of luck dry is none other than me. Fortune. Luck will flow very strongly to you. You will even suck up luck from your surroundings. Business. Never-ending footsteps of customers. You'll have heaping helping of opportunity. Work. Hospitality, business, or work that uses the fingers will go well. Gemstone trade and mining are also auspicious. Studies. Your guesses will be spot on. Literally, your mind will strike a rich vein. Health. Toxins will leave your body. Love. Love is not a matter of luck. Travel. Dark, damp, and gloomy places are very auspicious. Hobbies. Mineral collecting is good. Crafting games are also auspicious. Money. Now is a good time to build up savings. People. They'll gather around you. Home. You'll be blessed with insects. Centipedes seem to top the list of most overwhelmingly despised insects based on Team Shanghai Alice's research. But in Japan, centipedes are said to be servants of Bishamoten, and they're said to be good omens. Okay, have you ever seen a house centipede? House centipedes don't live, they can't exist where I live. It's too cold. But house centipedes are creatures that look like they crawled out of, like, a fucking, like, like a child's drawing of what they think a scary bug would look like. They're gross. But they're actually, like, they eat other pests. So they're surprisingly good. Obviously, no pest is good, but they eat all the other kinds of pests that you would have. So if you have house centipedes, you would only have house centipedes because they eat the other pests. But they look like freaks, so that's why people see them and they're like, ah! And they don't want to deal with them in their house. It's like how the daddy long leg spider freaks people out because it's a spider with long legs, but that shit is like harmless. That should just be existing. It doesn't do anything. It just exists, but it's gangly, and people are turned off by it. They can bring prosperity, victory, all kinds of divine blessings. Even so, I don't suppose you've ever seen anyone raising centipedes on purpose. They're venomous insects, after all. You ever see a millipede? They're cool. Millipedes got 1 million legs, but they don't actually. But they're just like, they're goofy looking. They're just goofy. Anyway, here's Momoyo with her 1 billion bows and rings on every end of her outfit. Holy shit, man. Just, why? So much going on with that one. I like her tufted up hair, though. It's like it's basically forcibly slicked upwards just by all the dirt and grime that's stuck in it. Her hair is uber greasy. Monkey. Good fortune. Sarugami convinced she's the great sage, heaven's equal, Sun B10, capable of controlling wild Monkey. Being boss of Monkey Mountain means walking the path of Ashura. The Asura realm in Buddhism, characterized by constant strife and war, often used as a metaphor for a conflict-filled environment, especially the world of the Yakuza. Don't lump me in with those weakling yokais. Fortune, you'll grab your luck greedily like a monkey, but you'll also grab unwanted supernatural attention. Business, you'll attract good customers along with bad customers. Be selective. Work, using your dexterity will go well. Being a mechanic, performer, monkey trainer, or gymnast is very auspicious. Studies, on the level of a monkey. Travel, if you travel to the forest, you'll get caught up in a turf war. Heading to the west is good. Health, sturdy as a rock. Disputes, never ending. Money, you'll get your hands on a lot, but you'll lose it all due to greed. Love, acting boldly is good. Hobbies, tree climbing is auspicious. She's a monkey yokai famous for throwing french fries. Her staff looks like Sun Wukong's magic staff, but for some reason it's made out of glass. It seems like it would have made it hard to use. I like how the French fry bit is because that's what her bullet looked like in 19. So, this one's playing into that. She has the power to seal away a piece of an opponent's soul by hitting them with her staff. Simply put, this lets her control them and make them obey. By this means, she's able to keep order on Monkey Mountain. Oh, kind of. Look at her face. Look at her face. Whose foot is that? Whose foot is that? I don't think I want to know, actually. Oh, there's French Fry Monkey. That better not be Enoko's foot. Oh my god, it is. No. Wow. That looks really weird. That the big toe position makes the whole foot look really weird. Prospective Fortune. Yamainu, who accidentally became immortal. Enoko Mitsugashira. Capable of using traps. Once you set them up, all you have to do is wait. These traps sure are convenient. Fortune. Overall, you tend to take a stance of watching and waiting. You'll bring it a big haul this way. Work. Show perseverance. Being a hunter, fisher, nightlife worker, or member of the military is auspicious. Studies. You'll get your head around it surprisingly well, about 3 times as well as usual. Health. Astonishing longevity. Nature is good. You'll find religious institutions loathsome. People. Avoid shaking hands. Love. You'll get caught up in a dangerous trap. Lost items. You'll find them. You've got a good nose. Home. Be careful of fire. Injuries. You'll get caught in your own trap. Hobbies. Game involving strategic thinking are good. Things like shogi or go. Even after becoming immortal, she just kept living as a regular Yamainu with the mind of a beast. She didn't awaken as a yokai until just recently, which is why she gives the impression of being immature for her age. For Zamu to still remember the beast who ate her flesh after all those years had passed, she must have really held a grudge, huh? Ha ha ha. I did think that, actually. Like, Enoko's been around for a while, but when you look at her, she looks pretty young. She looks a lot younger than, like, other yokai that are apparently long-lived. And it's because even though she's been alive for a long time, she's only been a yokai for a while. So that kind of explains that feeling. I like her. She's goofy. See? Look at her. She's roaring. Roaring. Hold the XD. It's Turburish. Poofy. She's great. She's my favorite character from 19 for sure. But to be honest with you, the only 2 characters from 19 I actually like are her and B10, so there you go. Rank. Very great misfortune. Mysterious curse Tenkajin. Shigari Tenkajin. Capable of manipulating blood and fire. You're saying I'm bad luck, huh? Well, it's fine either way, I guess. Fortune. You'll bring misfortune to those around you, which will make you unfortunate too. Work. You're not suited to jobs where you work alongside others. Being an artist would be relatively suitable. Studies. Medicine and biology are good. Anything else is auspicious. Inauspicious. Health. Your bad health knows no bounds. Home. Take immediate fireproofing measures. Travel. It's not up to you. You'll be better off not going anywhere. Hobbies. Blood donation is auspicious. Meals. Eat lots of vegetables is auspicious and cutting back on meat. People. You don't need to meet any. Love. That's a hassle. Money. Nothing to spend it on. She's a type of mysterious, extremely minor yokai known as a Tenkajin. An anonymity can be fatal to a yokai, and her very existence was in question, so I'm glad she was able to make an impact with her fiendish attacks. In the released version of Unfinished Dream of All Living Ghosts, Shiari was widely considered the strongest character, with some considering so overpowered as to imbalance the game. After outcry from players, she was weakened in a post-release patch. This is true, by the way. When this character came out on release, she was very goofy. And there was actually enough of an outcry that, obviously from the Japanese side, because Sun doesn't give a fuck about anyone else, that he patched it. He patched the game and made her not that. She's not that. Nowadays, we play Zamu, my guy. We play Zamu. We throw all kinds of bullshit. On a different subject, Chiari wears an oversized t-shirt she hunches over, which makes it puff out and look big, but her body is actually very thin from lack of exercise. Shocker. You mean to tell me that this character doesn't exercise? Wow. Fucking never would have saw that one coming. Anyway, there she is. Why are they sniffing? Why are they sniffing? Huh? This isn't a scratch and sniff, my guy. There's nothing to smell here. Nothing to smell here. You can't. What are you doing? Bad. Prospective great fortune. Yomotsu Shikome, who chases wherever you run. Hisame Yomotsu. Capable of never letting her target get away. You can't escape from joy, from suffering, or from me. Fortune. If you persistently keep at it, you'll draw in good fortune. If you give up, it'll all go to waste. Work. It will take some time before the efforts will bear fruit. Police detective, private investigator, and religionist are auspicious. Studies. You'll be able to focus on your studies. Criminal psychology is auspicious. Business. A one-track mind will cause failure. Health. You'll suffer mental illness. The verb here used to suffer from illness is the same one used in the word yandere, a slang term for an unhealthy, obsessive lover. Ah. Travel. No matter where you go, you can't escape your work. Love. Be careful not to cross the line into criminal acts. Wishes. If you succumb to the temptations of food, they won't come true. Hobbies. Mountain climbing and marathons are auspicious. The longer, the better. So I think that wishes one, chat, is related to the actual story of Yomotsu. About the one that chased Izanagi. From when he tried to flee the underworld. Because he threw, like, grapes and bamboo at her. And that caused, that allowed him to escape. Something like that. That's why there's like she's like thematic with being the grape lady. There's more to it, I'm sure, but that's kind of neat. Alright. I'm sure she would place highly in the hardest names to spell ranking. The Yomotsu and Hisame Yomotsu's name is not spelled with the same kanji as Yomotsu Shikome and uses unusual readings of kanji meaning relaxed mother city rather than the kanji meaning underworld. Why? The word Shikome is written with kanji meaning ugly woman, but originally it seems it had the meaning of strong woman. That's quite a change. She says it's impossible to escape her, but then she's pretty easy to tempt with food, and you can use grapes or bamboo shoots or such to distract her and make a getaway. So it's hard to tell if she's scary or cute. I don't think those are the words that people are using to describe this character, Zun, but yeah, this is your freak. Alright, you made this. This is your problem, not mine. Oh. Zamu. Nothing. Oni, king of the silent bliss of nirvana, Zamu Nippaku, capable of manipulating nothingness. No matter what you try at this point, it's useless. Everything will soon be engulfed in nothingness. Fortune. You'll be able to live comfortably, released from your suffering, but you'll lose your ambition along with it. Studies. Give up. Take it easy. Wisdom will come to you on its own. Work. Don't worry about it. Take a break. Buddhist monk and freelancer are auspicious. Health. There's a gaping hole in your heart. You'll recover from illness. Travel. Avoid famous suicide spots. Apart from that, anywhere is auspicious. Love. You'll be subject of a one-sided love. Home. Even if you don't have one, it's okay. People. Your charismatic charm will draw people to you. Money. You'll purposefully let it go. Lost items. You'll lose everything. Hobbies. Zen meditation is good. Alright. Okay. She carries herself with an air of being able to do anything and commands a large number of Oni. In reality, a lot of the time it's just bluff and unfounded confidence. Even if it's a bluff, though, that level of total self-confidence has a captivating effect. Okay. It seems like sees a lot of herself in Rainbow and can't help worrying about her. This time, she'll make sure she doesn't end up falling into hell. Okay. Well, that's not really what I remember of Zamu in 19, but I like this. She seems like she is able to do everything, but it's all baloney with a side of flim flam. Even if it's a bluff, she's so self-confident. She's like King. You know what? I kind of see what you're saying. It's kind of, but not like fully like King. But the idea is that just he's in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he looks scary, and people are just like, whoa, okay. But he doesn't really try to do that. But this character is just her head is so far up her ass that she can see sunlight, and her absolute level of self-confidence regarding any situation is inspiring to others. That's kind of funny. I still don't like her. I still think she's a boring character, but that is kind of funny and a little more into in nature with Toho's more goofy nature as a series, right? Toho is better as being a goofy series more than a serious one, in my opinion. So seeing the strong-willed characters have goofy character flaws to them makes them more interesting. And Zamu didn't have that. Zamu was boring. And I still don't really like her, but that's a funnier interpretation of her. So that's just what I'm going to stick with now. Is that she's full of 99% hot gas. But she's so confident in her how she like carries herself that everyone's just like, damn, she must know what she's talking about. Alright. Watatsuki no Toyohime. So Tokiyame drew this as well. Tokiyame, if you didn't know, did the art. He did the art for Cage and Lunatic Runegate. Tokiyame, I believe that was his first work on official stuff. Tokiyame is the artist behind Cage and Lunatic Runegate. He's the artist behind Symposium of Post-Mysticism. I don't think he didn't do like every individual character art, mind you, but he did the character intermission arts, the ones that show up in the chapters. And then his first game appearance was in 17.5. And it's very funny because, like, if you look at his art from Runegate and you look at his art from 17.5, hell, I mean, you look at it right now, most recent, like, couple months, like, it's very consistent, you know? He found a style he likes, and he's just refined it. He's simply refined it, and now that's what he's known for. Alright, Great Fortune. Lunarian who equates opposites. Utatsuki no Toyohime. Capable of connecting the mountain and the sea. Most important thing in life, it would have to be the delicacies of mountain and sea. Fortune. You naturally have strong luck. You'll be able to demonstrate greater power than usual. Travel. Both the sea and the mountains are auspicious. A place for your bolt is very auspicious. That's related to her ability, saying that she can connect the sea and the mountains, because that's, you know, working in a place close to nature is auspicious. Studies. Your humanities and science skills will grow without any effort. Health. Free from any stress. Housing. Home is where you make it. Wherever you live is the capital. Oh. Lost items. Things lost in the mountains wash up in the sea. Family. Some trouble, but you can manage it. Hobbies. You can enjoy everything, but especially fishing. A member of the enigmatic Lunarian race, she's Yorihime's older sister and leaves the tedious work to her while living a free and easy life. The lunar emissaries, in other words the rabbits, seem to love her more than her sister, maybe just because they don't take her seriously. For Lunarians who value strict hierarchical relationships, being loved is a serious concern. Okay. Yeah, that's her. Lady Boring herself in the flesh. No, streamer, she fish, she cool. No. No, she don't fish. She don't fish. She don't do anything exciting. Middle fortune. Lunarian capable of summoning Yaoyorozu no Kami. Who the fuck is that? A god's belonging to... It's most... Bro, I ain't reading all that. Watatsuki no Yorihime, capable of summoning divine spirits. The important thing in order to live strong is to be able to borrow the help from others. Fortune. Even if great challenges arise, you'll receive lots of assistance and be able to overcome them. Work. You'll be successful in any job by borrowing the help of others. Don't depend on your superiors. Studies. Praying to the gods for luck in exams is auspicious. That said, just praying to a god for knowledge won't ingrate it into your body. Health. Be careful not to overwork yourself mentally. Travel. Visiting the ocean is good. Visiting shrines is a necessity. Housing. Clean your altars. Marriage. Expect to marry into wealth. Competition. You're powerful in competition. So long as you implement your strategy, you're unbeatable. Be careful not to be overconfident in your strength. Hobbies. Martial arts is good. A member of the enigmatic Lunarian race. She manages the Lunarian emissaries. Because they're moon rabbits, she doesn't have much control over them. Since she's able to borrow the power of all sorts of gods, she's extremely powerful. However, the gods don't always get along, so she can't borrow from two simultaneously. Okay. All she does is get carried. You know, I was thinking that when I was reading it, is there's a number of these comments are kind of backhanded, where it's like, you can't do anything on your own, you need help. That's kind of backhanded to Yorihime. That's a little backhanded to her. It's not even fully true. And, you know, this is coming from me, Yorihime's #1 hater. But she does channel a bunch of different gods to give her different powers, to give her edges in fights. But she's a Lunarian, so obviously she's capable of many things on her own without that. But one of her abilities is that she can do that, so why the fuck wouldn't she make use of it, right? Anyway, the sword is not present in the art. What's neat is there's two rabbits here. There's a rabbit on both of them, and they're holding the fortune draw thing, where they like the stick draw. You kind of shake it and you poke one out and you pull it, and that's your fortune. So that was in Toyohime's as well. Raisin doesn't get one apparently. She's not a real character. Oh my god. Kozuzu. Middle fortune. Suzanon's girl with a deciphering eye. Kozuzu Mutori. Capable of understanding any kind of writing. Are you reading books? No. Books are something you feel. Fortune. You'll gain a higher understanding of the world. As a result, you'll run into fortune and misfortune. Studies. Generally, you'll improve. You're especially lucky in Japanese and foreign language affairs. Foreign language studies. Work. Jobs that relates to books will work out. Writer, editor, and publisher would be especially lucky. Home. Having lots of books would bring luck. Travel. No matter where you go, you'll have fun. You're especially lucky if you go to other countries. Love. It won't be flashy like in stories, but it will still be satisfactory with no problems. Health. You'll be prone to get sick in body and mind. Lost items. They'll be in your house, but you won't find them. Hobbies. Aside from reading books, writing novels is also good. She's a rental bookstore clerk, but I don't think there are a lot of rental bookstores anymore in this modern age, but if you define the main substance of book as the content written on paper, then any business that temporarily sells that content, like manga cafes or digital books, especially ones that you can only read for a limited time, could probably be broadly defined as a rental bookstore. There she is, holding books. Yep, that's Kozuzu alright. Look at them boots! Yo, chill, bitch, you burned my Timbs! Well, what am I supposed to say there? It's the 18 guy. Miyoi Okunoda, of course drawn by the Lotus Eaters artist. Good fortune. Gironte's sake-serving poster girl, Miyoi Okunoda, capable of manipulating drunk people's memories. If there's something troubling you, let me hear it. Drinking brings out the truth from people. Fortune. Your memories may be a little cloudy, but if you don't let it bother you, your luck will improve. Work. Job dealings with alcohol are auspicious. Working in a liquor store, restaurant, or brewery is very auspicious. Studies. You'll tend to forget important things. I do that anyway, regardless of studying. Alcohol. Health. Alcohol is the best medicine. You'll forget your stresses. I'm out. Travel. As long as you're careful about your food and drink, anywhere is auspicious. Love. You'll be popular with those older than you. You know, I'll tell you one thing. As far as I could tell in my 28 years on this planet, The most popular demographic I've ever been with, or the demographic I've been the most popular with has always been the old ladies. Always. I'm not popular with younger people. I'm especially not popular with women. But older ladies, that seems to be that seems to be the only market that, you know, I it's like the only market. Oopsie daisy. Where am I? Lost items. You tend to lose things. Mostly you won't find them again. Disputes. You'll make up over drinks. Hobbies. Sake is good. Building up a wealth of knowledge about sake is auspicious. Your cooking will also improve. She's the poster girl of an izakaya. She has a terrifying double-faced nature where she shows one face to the humans at night and another face to the yokai later at night. By the way, Geron has the meaning of a whale swallowing something smaller, whole. Put simply, it's the strong eating the weak. Also, the Sanshoku in Sanshoku Geronte expresses the meaning of an invasion. It's a pretty violent name to give your shop, huh? Well, she didn't name it. She just works there. Anyway, there she is doing her stupid hand wave pose that she's so known for. Her feet position kind of... Chat. Let me tell you something. Here's something I've learned from artists who are good at art is they often cheat their anatomy a little bit by not actually having a constructed mannequin. They do the clothes and they place. And this is one of those situations where that has become very apparent. Because if you look at the leg, if you look at her leg, do you see it? This leg down here? Follow this leg upwards, okay? The foot sideways, that's not the problem. Follow the leg up here. You see the knee. You see where the knee starts. You see the position the knee is facing due to the position of the foot. Where is the leg going? Right? Where is the leg going? So, I think it's a little misplaced. The dress is in the right spot, but I think the legs coming out of it are a little off. It's a little off. But that's shortcuts that people make for these things. It happens. I strongly prefer to not do that. I don't want to draw clothes and then try to figure out where the anatomy is supposed to go. I want to make sure that the anatomy is correct. That's something that I prefer. Still work in progress, mind you, but yeah. Black. Very great misfortune. Ostracized, jailbreaking, vengeful spirit. Me, Zuchi. Me, Yadaguchi. Capable of taking over one's body and mind. Only the vengeful spirits know this. This is their grudge. That their grudges must never be properly cleared. Fortune. You'll be too envious of others to the point where it interferes with your everyday life. It will be difficult to break free from this. Work. If you accept your failure, you'll make a big turnaround. Jobs that require acting are auspicious. Studies. You'll get distracted and won't be able to concentrate on them. Health. Overall deterioration. Home. Not comfortable in the house. It would be better to live underground. Travel. Stress-relieving places are good. People avoided. Love. You'll occasionally find a compatible partner. Lost items. Loss of purpose. Hobbies. Watching people. Comments. She's a vengeful spirit holding a grudge against the Hakurei shrine. Most vengeful spirits forget what they're fighting for, only the grudge itself remaining. She only recently became a vengeful spirit, though, and vaguely remembers the reason for her grudge. If its grudge is cleared, a vengeful spirit will be able to attain nirvana, no longer existing as a spirit. What a difficult thing to live as. Huh. And obviously, the art is the guy who's doing the actively working on the manga. You know she wears gloves. Why does she wear gloves? I don't know. The big cuff is stupid looking. But, whatever. Not my favorite character, that's for sure. Renosuke Morichika. Oh, this is Genji Asai, which makes sense because Genji Asai is, as far as I know, one of the few who actually draws Renosuke semi-regularly. So it's not surprising that he would be the one responsible for Renosuke's entry. He's also the original artist of Cola, so duh. Slight Fortune. The owner of Korindo, skilled with outside world tools, Renosuke Morichika. Capable of knowing the name and use of any tool. Since when have the people of the outside world been unable to read instruction manuals? Fortune. You will make new discoveries in your daily life. Observing your surroundings can lead to good fortune. Work. Individual and tool-related jobs are auspicious. Retail, artistry, and appraising are very auspicious. Business. It'll go fairly well. Studies. It'll go smoothly if you're interested in the subject. The humanities are auspicious. Travel. Museums are very auspicious. Lost items. You'll find treasures among the junk. Health. Using fitness equipment is auspicious. Love. Not the same as working with tools. Hobbies. Messing around with tools is fun regardless of whether they're new or old. Tools. Smartphones will sap your fortune. He's the owner of a shop mostly dealing in tools of the outside world, a rare non-combatant in Gensokyo. Perhaps because of rapid change of the outside world, new tools keep arriving one after another, overwhelming him. On the other hand, the changes themselves are also confusing, as Showa-era items are increasingly hard to find. In the 2020s, an increase in remembrance of the era is marked by an influx of media and memorials related to the period. Example, memorial museums, new species being named after it. I don't get what that means at all, so. Okay. I don't get what that means. So yes, Genji Asai. That's what he's bulky. You know he's ripped under that uniform. The fitness equipment right here. Where is it? Where is it? The fitness equipment right there. That's how you know. That's how you know. Confirmation. He is gigaglorp under that outfit. It's not that it's bulked up, it's that it's just the outfit is it just, you know, it goes over his muscles. He got that big leg. He a big guy. Hieda no Akyu. Who's the sassy lost child? Good fortune. Secret secretary who records Gensokyo's history. Hieda no Akyu. Capable of not forgetting anything seen once. How is it possible to forget anything in a world like this? Fortune. Your knowledge will be put to good use, however you'll get stuck in the details and find yourself unable to proceed. Studies. You'll be able to study efficiently. All subjects that require memorization would bring great luck. Work. Jobs where you use your memories are good. Writing literature in general would bring good luck. Or just bring luck. Home. Traditional Japanese places are good. Health. Sickly. Small matters can become a huge deal. Be careful. Travel. Avoid travel would be safer. Nearby hot springs are good. Love. Average. People. You are blessed. Hobbies. Things aside from those you see are good. Music is auspicious. her untouched score. She's a human who possesses an outstanding memory. When she reads a book, she's able to memorize it even if she doesn't understand the contents. However, her memory for information that she learned through hearing isn't anything special. So she always writes things down to avoid forgetting. Since she remembers by looking at the characters on the paper, if she writes something down incorrectly, she can easily end up misremembering. Oh, I didn't know that's how that worked, actually. I didn't know that's how that worked. So if she wrote something down wrong, she would remember it incorrectly if she didn't fix it in time. She is so small. Look at this squishy bastard. And this massive fucking brush. What is going on here with that? You can't write with that. Creature. La Critora. Marisa Kirisame. Well, it's also Genji Asai. Because I recognize it immediately because he draws her with the little boob window. He's got a very unique take on Marissa's outfit. One that is not replicated by any other artist. I think it's a pretty cool outfit. Prospective fortune, magician for whom normal is best. Marisa Kirisame, capable of using magic. Even if the chance is small, a bad thing will certainly occur. Relying on luck is the same as one's ruin. Fortune, boring but peaceful days will continue. Eventually, you will realize that That is happiness. Studies. If you continue to work hard, you will be rewarded in any subject. Work. A stable job is good. A company employee or public servant is auspicious. Resign from burglary business. Travel. Places filled with nature are auspicious. Health. Be careful of mushrooms. People. You will be liked by those other than kindred spirits. Love. Good spark. Ah. Good one. Lost items will be found from within your home. Arguments. You will take on a mediator role. Hobbies. From your large collection, there will be new discoveries. Money. When you need it, it will be favorable to sell your collection. It doesn't bear saying that along with Reimu, she is a protagonist. Contrary to their image, as each of their stories move in parallel, dialogue between them in the games is scarce. In the original works, they only get to talk a lot in the manga, so the image of knowledgeable Marissa and curious Reimu mostly comes from their streaming work. Lol. What do you mean streaming work? Yeah, so Genji Asai has a Marissa. Oh, a feather in her hat. I've never seen that. But he's got gloves, boots, and a boob window. Like, he has a specific take on Marissa's design. Genso Wanderer uses it for Marissa as well, but no other medium really uses this particular Marissa outfit. Makoto Hirasawa kind of uses Remy's, like the big hat Remy, Korindo version Remy. They have Fumos for them. That's how like distinctive the outfit designs are for them. Is that there's a whole line of Korindo versions for the characters that exist in it. But Remy has her big stupid hat and her more white and red lined attire, and Makoto Hirasawa, the Great Fairy Wars artist, he also has a very similar Remilia to that one, so I'm pretty sure he takes inspiration from that. It's really noticeable in the hat, because her hat isn't really a proper mob cap. It's like it's a very intentional design on the hat, and that's my favorite Remy, personally. Alright, we got one more. Reimu, also Genji Asai. I mean, he's been the longest standing, like, guest artist, essentially. Well, I guess technically Alfie's would be. But he's gone. But Genji Asai was the artist for Cola. And Cola was the first written work. No, actually, wait, never mind. I was wrong. Cola came up before Immaterial and Missing Power. So yeah, Genji Asai is the first guest artist of Toho's. Genji Asai is the first guest artist of Toho's entire career. Because the Toho specific characters that were in Seiho were done by Zun. Like he did those, so those Toho characters weren't done by others. It's kind of neat, actually. Super good fortune. Shrine maiden who reveals divine oracles. Reimu Hakurei, capable of flying in the sky. Having drawn me, I see you've noticed the mechanism behind good fortune. Oh no, Reimu. Fortune, the strongest fortune, which comes to you from luck of itself. Whatever you do, it will go well. Studies, even if you don't study, it will end up going well. Work, even facing a big incident, things will end up going well. Business, you won't profit, but things will end up going well. Yeah. Travel, trips by air are especially good. Sickness, if you believe in the divine, you will recover. Health, you're able to live a long life. Home is where you make it. Love, a pious partner is auspicious. Direction, good luck resides in the east. People, you will be liked by eccentrics. Hobbies, if you try your hand at various things, it will go well. It doesn't bear saying she is the protagonist. These fortune slips are mainly made from Reimu receiving divine messages, but her perspective and wishes seem to be strongly reflected in them. Her saying it will go well is like a prophecy by telling herself that things, no matter what occurs, will have in fact gone well for her. Oh, Reimu. Yeah, and there's Genji Asai's Reimu. He actually has quite a sophisticated amount of detail in his work, and he has since Cola. But he really makes use of he makes a lot of use of lines for detailing, which you can see. Like even in the hair, just looking at the hair. His art stands out, I think. His art stands out. It's very unique. This is good Reimu too. Chat, I think that's it. There are no texts on this page. No afterword. Artist index. So you can see who drew what. Akimakiyu, Ashiyama, Ayazuma, name I can't read, Tokiyame, Haniwa. Oh, Haniwa did the comic. Oh, okay. Yeah, Haniwa's Haniwa's store. So he's the one who did the art for the comic. I haven't seen the comic yet. Okay, yeah. Can't read. Baba, can't read that. Makoto Hisawa, Benishake, I've heard that name before. Masakishi, I've heard that name. Mizutaki, yeah, that one. Can't read that. Risui, I've heard that name. And Genji Yasai, who does. He did the cover and then the last three. Yeah. Okay, so Haniwa store was he did the comic. Okay. I'll have to read that at some point. Oh. Alright, chat. It's over. It's over. 128 fortunes. Did we learn anything? Did we learn anything? Hakurei. Oh, right, yeah. Hakurei. I thought this was pretty cool. Baba is you. And I still have a headache, unfortunately. But yeah, I thought this was cool. It wasn't anything, like, insane. There was a couple things in there I thought were neat. Like, Akyu. I didn't know her ability worked properly like that. I learned something new there. I thought that was pretty cool to see. I can't think of much else off the top of my head. Oh, I guess there's the Yamawaro business with the human village. There's that. Saki's behavior. The patterns on Yuma's dress related to Taoti stuff. I learned a couple things here. I think this was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. There's a lot to read. Some of it kind of pointless, mind you, but it's just for fun anyway. Some of the comments were better than others. Some of the art was better than others. Really better than others. Like, anyway. Wait, you know what? Hold on. Artist index. Sukuna. Sukuna was drawn by Baba. But Baba did Raiko. Wait, are you serious? I mean, I guess it makes sense that he did the whole, you know, he did all of them, but like, Shimmy looks so wrong that you think it'd be someone else who did it. Alright. Alright, chat. I'm gonna go die now, I think. I'm gonna check out the comic stuff on my own. I'm gonna read that on my own. It's really short, but I don't want to read a comic on stream. I'll check that out on my own at some point, surely. Oh, my ear. Alright. Well, I hope you enjoyed, chat. The next time we get a book like this will be when I'm dead. So, cool. But I liked it. If I had to pick a complaint, it's that there were a little too many times where Zun got real pessimistic about the world. Because it's like, I get it. You know, I get it. But I like the fantastical escapism. And I don't really like when he decides to, like, poison his fantastical escapism by bringing real world issues into it. And being like, ooh, we should be careful of this. Like, stop trying to put social commentary. Just have Reimu go and kill a fairy, please. That's way more preferable than having an incident be a very poorly hidden allegory for shit that is happening in our real world space. Alright? Just Reimu go kill a fairy and we're good. Alright. So he's just a little overly pessimistic in some of his comments, and I do worry that it's gonna affect future works more than it already does. But I still like Toho, and you can't undo the Toho that I like, motherfucker. So yeah. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, chat. I thought this was pretty cool. I dig it. And that's all I got. Until the next one. Whenever that will be.